What's good, everybody? It's Quincy here from Q and Colb. Colb is the co-host. We have a guest today, Brandon Jackson, former offensive lineman of the West Virginia University Mountaineers. How you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on, man. I've been watching y'all for a minute now and happy to be here.
Awesome. All right, so you already know what you're getting into. Colb, how you doing this day?
Hey, man, it's good to have my brother B-Jax on here, St. Ed's legend in the building. You already know what's going on. Glad to have him in here. We're going to talk Browns and let him get his shit off about Jalen Milroe because I know he waiting for that.
By the way, shout out to how hard Colb go out for St. Ed's, man. You really do. You rep the brand, you know?
I do what I can, man. I do what I can.
That's brotherhood.
That's what I hear out there while y'all be demolishing all these schools. Okay. But all fun and games here. We got the NFL draft to talk about. We got the Cavs to talk about. A lot of fun stuff to get into. What do you want to get into first, Cole? We want to talk about draft?
Yeah, we got to talk about draft. We got to talk about draft.
Well, it's been interesting because, like, the picture with the draft has pretty much circled in, right? Like, it started with this wide pool of what the Browns might do. Big questions of what's going to happen at number one. Seems like the question is no more with Tennessee. They have given every sign possible that they want to draft Cam Ward number one overall. I feel like if this was 2007 or before the new CBA in 2011, they would have already been talking contract with dude. It seems like they're locked in on that one. That's what they want to do. All right. Now the Browns got the number 2 overall pick, and everybody but Cam Ward is on the board. It seems like it's coming down to Abdul and Travis, but Brandon, I want to jump to you first. Abdul Carter, as somebody who's played offensive line in the Power 5 level, what kind of unique problems does he present, do you think, that translates really well in the NFL when it comes to going up against opposing NFL offensive linemen?
That explosion, that explosiveness coming off the edge, not something you can really prepare for unless you got somebody else like that on your team to practice against. That's something you can watch film and just like hope you can deal with when you get to it on Sunday.
Yeah, and talk about, like, how does that bend affect you as an offensive lineman when you're going up against somebody and they have that ability to basically walk with their knees hitting their chest and still maintain their path?
Yeah, it's real difficult, like when somebody that's bendy, to try to like hit a target, because like you're taught to like try to get your hands on them, get your hands in their chest, and if their chest isn't there, if you can only see like the back of their shoulder pad because they're swim moving and rip moving across you, is just like you really have nothing, like there's nothing you can do with that.
Do you think he's undersized?
No, he's especially today, like what, 6'3", 250, like he's absolutely fine. I'm not worried about that at all.
You sure? You're sure? Because the Browns are in a 4-3, and he's probably better suited to be an outside linebacker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if he can hold up.
I'm tired. I'm just tired of all like people love to talk about Abdul Carter and talk about the edges like they know what to look for. Like you don't know what to look for. I'm sorry. Like, why? What are we doing here? So, but he's not undersized.
How many clips have you seen posted where people are like, "See, Abdul can't win," and you like, "Dog, he won the rep."
No, this is gonna make me go off on a tangent. I'm about to hijack the show.
Oh, this the perfect podcast to go on a tangent.
because it's not even just Abdul Carter. Do y'all see like every time like the high school camps when they show like the reps, the offensive line throwing dudes out of the club, and like I'm like, this is not a rep. Like this is holding that's coming back. that's intent, like unnecessary roughness, all type of. But yeah, no, it's.
I forgot who it was. Was it Buffalo Man that posted the Josh Connolly clip? And he was like, "Man, see, he just iced him out." And I'm like, "He's choking him." Like, what?
Dog, I watched that Josh Connolly versus Abdul Carter breakdown like 3 different times. I'm like, first of all, he held this man like 4 times. I don't know if anybody thought. This is like, I was like, we just gonna lie, act like he's not holding, and then every time he's like, he getting by him every single time, dog.
I was watching that shit on film. I was like, he must be cold because the ref's like, nah, that's fair. This is shit they do with Miles, because they see the shit Miles can do. Like, hey, bro, if we call everything, he gonna just get off every play. So we gotta let him hold. That's why you be seeing Miles just be getting choked, grabbed, arm all over here. Be like,
bro, hey, no, I ain't gonna lie though. They be doing some egregious shit to Miles during games.
Oh
I'd be like, hey, bro, you got to call that, though. I'm sorry, bro. Like, he tackled him. Like, what are you doing?
The only argument I can see when they let that shit happen to Miles, I'm like, it's probably in the argument of fairness to that referee, because he not being fair to Miles, but he's being fair to everybody else by letting him hold Miles. Because you got to nerf that, dog. Like, the game ain't going to go if you just let Miles go straight up against somebody and don't let him cheat a little bit. Like, nah, it's like, hey, bro, he's outmatched.
It's like, at the end of the day, it's a TV product, and that's bad TV if every play it's a holding call against a left tackle because they can't check him.
And best believe if you going up against Myles Garrett, you gonna see what you can get away with. Like, you gonna at least get one. Like, all right, bro. Like, let's see how far I can take it. Like, that's how Dan Moore had that one game Steelers fans were talking about. We're like, oh, he shut down Myles. He was just like, hey man, let's see how far holding can go. Right? Like, cheating is undefeated. Right? Like, have you ever played against somebody where you was like, hey dog, I gotta hold? Like,
I mean, in practice, Bruce Irvin.
ooh.
Like, I was scouting team for Bruce Irvin, and that man is one of the most athletic humans I've ever been around. Like, there was a time in practice, I'm just walking around like it hasn't started yet. All of a sudden, I feel like something jumping over me, and like he landed, and this Bruce just like leapfrogged me standing straight up. I'm 6'4". Like, he just vertical jumped over me for no reason, just because he could.
And the thing, Brad, is somebody in the NFL has that story about a 300-pound, 6'6" Myles Garrett doing the same exact thing in a game, and it didn't get any better. He's done it twice.
Yes,
that's the crazy thing about Miles that I don't think people understand is he's 300 pounds. And he's doing all of this stuff at such a high level. And look, this is how I know that there is no overrated to Miles's game. They asked Lamar Jackson on Hard Knocks, is there anybody who gives you problems on read option? Because I couldn't imagine it. And Lamar was like, Myles Garrett. He gave me problems. Myles Garrett. That dude. Yeah, that guy's a problem. Everybody else? No, it's cool. Miles, yeah, I can't. I'm not even gonna give off the impression that I don't respect him on the edge. Like, what? And you've seen it, where he goes up and he's able to handle that. But yeah, it's such an interesting cycle about these edges, especially when we get to trench players. It happens with offensive tackles too, where I remember the one DeJuan Jones clip, the people in Cleveland were like, oh man, he just whooped, who was it, Brandon Ingram or somebody? It was somebody on the Eagles.
Oh, Brandon Graham.
Brandon Graham, yeah. He just whipped the veteran, and then a bunch of offensive linemen were like, what are you talking about?
And I don't blame people for not knowing what goes on really on the offensive line in the trenches, because it's not something that's really talked about. Even national media members that talk about football all the time don't really know. They got to defer to Mark Schlereth whenever they talk about offensive line. So, I mean, it is what it is. You see violence and it's oh yeah, he won. Not really. There's a lot of technique that goes into it, but I can't get too mad about it.
I remember a Jordan Davis clip went viral once where like he really like tried to bull over somebody, but the center really did a good job of like bunny hopping and giving up space. And they were like, "Oh, look at him bully him." I'm like, "Nah, that's actually good, dog." Like,
Yeah.
this is a 335 pounder. He's like holding back there. Like you gonna give some ground. Like,
Facts.
but it's an interesting draft cycle. Abdul Carter. There's been a lot of hot. What's the most out of pocket take you've heard about a player in this draft, in your opinion, Brandon?
I mean, just off the top, that the Browns want to take Tyler Shuck at 33.
Thank you. Can we talk about it? Can we please talk about it?
That's top of mind because like that just came out like in 2 mock drafts already. Like what?
Mel Kiper.
Yeah. What are we doing? Like seriously.
Yeah, it's a wild one. I don't get the Shuck rise. I don't get why people think Andrew Berry, who is famously not somebody who likes to draft players over a certain age, would destroy every guardrail in his book for Tyler Shuck. Like,
bro, how do people not know that? Like that's the thing that infuriates me. How are you getting paid by ESPN? And I know they pay pretty well. How do you not know that Andrew Berry in the first 2 rounds drafts he has the youngest average age of drafting players of any general manager in football? Why would he take Tyler Shuck in the second round?
What the crazy part about this is like, okay, well, maybe Mel don't got the time to look for everything, but if you work at ESPN and you're Mel Kiper, right? Like you have ESPN stats and information behind you. Like you have legitimate resources. I got whatever I can Google behind me, right? Like I got, people I know, and then I can Google some shit and then whatever I can watch, right? Like I don't have a line I could text like people who work at ESPN or sometimes even CBS where they can say, hey, I want a cut up of this or give me a breakdown of like what the draft trends are for Andrew Berry. It's just the most bare analysis possible to get something out, right? To get a product out. And it's more like when they're doing some of this mock draft stuff, I feel like it's more of what can be provocative versus what is actually what my actual analysis is leading me down to, right? Because there's no way you've done actual analysis and you're like, the Browns are going to take a 27-year-old quarterback 30 months, right? That's the other thing. The Browns prefer guys who have a lot of like starts under their belt. That was the whole basis for like why people thought there was interest between the Browns and Cam Ward or even Shadour Sanders, because those guys played a lot of football. I mean, Jalen Milroe's done 2 years, so it's not like he's not played a lot of football either. But the Browns like guys who've played a lot. Shuck hasn't played a ton, and he was the backup for Justin Herbert in college. We talk about Bo Nix, old ass. He had to bounce because they got Bo Nix to come to Oregon. Like, this is wild to me. And also, like, I get some of the points because I think people I respect have made these points. Mina Kimes, I think even Corey has made the point of like, hey, look, the tape says pro ready, but I think it's real easy to look pro ready at 26 in college, like at the quarterback position. Not real easy, but if you're talented and you care a little bit or you care a lot, you can look pro ready in college. But how often does that truly translate to the next level, right? When you're going up to being 26 playing against 20-year-olds to now you 27 and you playing up against grown-ass men who have been playing NFL football. How long Justin Herbert been in the league? Like 8 years? Like it's like he got been in the league for a minute, right? Like just the dudes in your draft class, your peers, they've been in the league. They got second contracts and shit. And then you going up against some of these guys who are older than that. I don't know how pro ready that's really gonna be. And my last point on this, we got to stop assuming just because a dude can look like a traditional pocket passer, that means he's pro ready. Because the guys who translate the fastest to the NFL often are the guys who are the better athletes. Because all that other shit, oh yeah, you know how to go through your progressions in college. That's one thing at one speed with whatever protection you're getting in college. But when the shit hit the fan, what you gonna do? Can you think fast enough? Are you gonna be able to adjust fast enough? Right. But if you're super fast, you might be able to make something happen. Right. We saw that with Lamar. CJ Stroud was like really using his legs that first year because it was just like, hey, that's going to be able to keep you afloat. Because who knows what you're going to have to deal with or how much time you're going to need to deal with it until you can catch up. And like, that's where I look at Chuck. I'm like, how are we just going to act like all of these things that we know happen, these trends that we know are viable trends in the draft? It's like, well, he can play right now. And I'm just like, he's just old enough to make you think that he's the same age Deshaun Watson was when he got traded to Cleveland. Think about that shit. And Deshaun Watson fell off physically. Okay. Like that's nuts. Right? Like 26. That's a
real quick age. Real quick though, Q. His 4.6 340 didn't move you. You don't think he can move?
4.6 340. I mean, like that's cool, but like it's like Derek Carr when he ran at 4.7. I'm like, he don't use it. Like I gotta see you demonstrate that you can use any of these. It's like Quishon's 4.4. It's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be like acting like he better than Travion. I saw that man get ran down by Xavier Watts, who ran like 4.69.
Yeah,
right. Like, so if you're not applying it, I don't care what you're running the 40, right? And he's injury prone. You really want that dude running?
That's the biggest thing, bro. Like, how come everybody just ignores his injury history?
Bro,
that's
why he's 26 playing college football. Because
ACLs was it Achilles too?
Oh no!
God, I hope it ain't.
That's crazy. That's great. We gonna get a dude who had more injuries than Kirk Cousins. Will Kirk Cousins? Like, it's nuts. Nah, I just. This is not what the Browns meant when they said they were going to pursue a veteran quarterback, right?
Listen to this, bro. Because they got his injuries listed. Hold on, bro. I gotta find it again.
Before you get into that, I
broken. Go ahead.
Who's younger, him or Kenny Pickett?
Kenny's
birthday, June 6, 1998. He is 26 years old. Tyler Shuck. He's just younger than Kenny Pickett.
We talking months?
Nah, he's got like 6 months on him.
Okay.
You know, he got a whole school year on him. But yes,
still, man, Kenny been in the league how long?
That's what I'm saying. What would you draft Tyler Shuck to be that Kenny Pickett isn't? like you know how Kenny Pickett would look if he was in college football right now?
Oh my God,
he look like Joe Burrow out there. What?
And like you said before, Q, man, like it's for the national audience. They want to get engagement on it. Like, what can the Browns do? We know they need a quarterback. Who can we give them that would draw some attention to this mock draft? Oh, let's take the oldest quarterback in the draft that might be one of the worst quarterbacks in the draft. But like, just for because everybody will believe it. Like the Browns aren't like, oh yeah, the Browns, they suck. Like their organization is terrible. Of course they would do that.
I want to get off all the quarterbacks who are younger than Tyler Shuck right now. Will Levis, Jordan Love. He's got a second contract.
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Wow. Brock Purdy is 2 years younger than my man.
For real?
2 whole years?
Yeah, he's 24.
Damn, I didn't know Brock was that young. I thought Brock was older than that.
Yeah. Bryce Young.
Of course.
Jayden Daniels, of course, 23. CJ Stroud's like so fucking young. Anthony Richardson is like 22. He would come into he would be medium age for NFL starting quarterback right now. He'd be 2 years behind Sam Darnold. Does that mean that he was supposed to be in the 2020 draft?
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, because Sam was 2018. Yeah, bro, if he would have came out as a senior.
Listen to these injuries, dog. Listen to these injuries, because I wanted to know what actually happened to him. Broken collarbone, 2021. Re-broke the same collarbone, 2022. And then 2023, broke his fibula.
Damn.
Okay, no, so we avoided
bones, man.
Yeah.
Like something, pull something. He just breaking bones.
Breaking bones, bro. At least he avoided the Achilles and ACLs, but like, damn, dog.
Yeah, I don't know. That SpongeBob episode. Every night I go to bed, I break my arms. Wake up in the morning, I break my legs.
No, that's real right there with him. And then like it's not like the production is like, oh my God, you gotta pay it. Like people bring up Brandon Wheaton. The thing about Brandon Wheaton was the shit that Brandon Wheaton did at Oklahoma State, you kind of had to look at and be like, hey dog, like he might be able to do it. Like, cause he was hooping in college. Like they almost got to the national championship game. No disrespect, my homie Trayshawn. He's an Oklahoma State of love, but they almost got to a national championship game at Oklahoma fucking State, dog. Like, you know how hard that is?
Hard.
In the BCS. Like,
Bro,
they would have got in and got to the net because they beat Stanford that year in like the Orange Bowl. Andrew Luck Stanford. Like, that is how good Brandon Wheaton was. Ain't nobody picking Tyler Shuck to go at 33. Gave a damn about no Louisville football this year. What are y'all watching that shit? Who won Louisville, Kentucky this year? I want to ask Mel Kiper this right now. What Tyler Shuck do in that game? You don't know? You ain't even watching back then. You wasn't paying attention. He wasn't on your radar. But people was like, oh, well, he's got the tools. He's a former 5-star, all this stuff. And now we talking ourselves into this. I saw Quinn Ewers at 35, and I was like, you know what? End it. Like, end it all. What? Like, no more mock drafts.
No.
Shut down the simulators. We're done. Quinn Ewers at 35, egregious. I wonder if he's gonna get drafted. But I think the only reason he's gonna get drafted because he used to be Quinn Ewers and people thought that was gonna be something. Like, that's the only reason.
That's the only, like that. Honestly, that's the only reason I'm thinking like a team would draft him. Like we watched him at Texas, and he showed flashes, but them flashes never got to be a consistently great quarterback. But he was supposed to be God's gift of football when he was 17, and we really got nothing out of it.
He was supposed to be the number 1 pick of last year's draft, right? That's what he was supposed to be. He was not that. And look, this would be like drafting Christian Hackenberg, like, except for Christian Hackenberg made a little bit more sense than Quinn Ewers did. Because at least Christian Hackenberg was 6'5", right? Like, Quinn, I just don't think he makes much sense. People talk about Jalen Milroe being a project because he can't throw. Hey man, he's significantly more accurate in every way than Quinn Ewers. Yeah, with the weighted on target for him was like 55 from Corey's chart.
Yeah, it was like no. Actually, if you take out the group of 5 in the FCS schools and only like look at his Power 5 stats, his Power 5 charting, I think Quinn was at 54, Jalen was at 60.
Yeah, man. That would be crazy. Like all this Jackson Star stuff, that would be the crazy. If somebody took Quinn Ewers in the second, I'm like, what owner made that decision? That is somebody's owner decided, where's Dave Tepper at? Like that, he made that choice. Like, he said that boy can play.
Somebody best friends with Matthew McConaughey was like, you get that Ewers boy in here.
Yeah, get that. It wouldn't be nobody related to the University of Texas. They all wanted him benched, right? I don't know a single Texas fan that want to draft him. Like, nah, he got that. What was it that happened with Kyle McCord when people talk about drafting him, but you can't talk to no Ohio State fan about that. No.
You absolutely cannot.
They are not trying to hear you on this Kyle McCord stuff.
Never. Don't even mention his name around me, bro. Absolutely not. That boy is ass. I don't care what nobody say.
that is what it's like talking to Texas people about Quinn Ewers. It was like, man, come on. Like, we excited about next year. Like,
Listen, you see what Ohio State did when we got Will Howard in there?
They didn't win at all, despite losing to Michigan in the nastiest loss of the season. Like,
it's okay. It ain't even matter. I already forgot about it.
It's not how you lose to your rivals. It's about how you win at the end. I guess that's what college football is now. But shout out to Ryan Day. He did what he had to do. I was hating for a long time on that. But I got
you was hating for a long time.
I just something about his get down I don't fuck with. You know, it's just like
I mean, it was reasonable. Up until the minute them clocks hit 000, like to be hating on Ryan Day. Like I stand by that.
I was hating. When I was like, Jeremiah Smith caught that thing. I'm like, oh, he bailed him out.
Yep. I can't believe y'all was hating on my head coach, like, man.
I was like a Scooby-Doo villain. I was like, damn, if it wasn't for that damn Jeremiah Smith, I would have been right about all of this stuff.
Y'all was hating on my head coach, man. That's crazy.
You was hating on your head coach.
I was waiting for you to call it out.
Cole would be like, we need to bring JP on to talk about Ryan Day. No, JP don't like no damn Ryan Day either. It'd just be three people out here shitting on Ryan Day.
I couldn't stand that man until he won that game. I couldn't stand that man until he won that game, bro. Let me tell you.
What we call him, the dude? What he looked like? The dude? It was like a child show. He had the hair. It's like the villain from like Yo Gabba Gabba or some shit like that.
Yeah.
The Wiggles villain or something. I forget what it was. Chat gonna remind me. But yeah, man, was not on the program with it. And then he stood there while Michigan was talking cash money shit on his field. It did nothing. Nah,
it was bad looks all around. Like, if
I were a fan, I would have hit the portal immediately. Nah, this ain't what I signed up for. You got me out here looking like a sucker.
A sucker is a very appropriate way, a very PG way to describe what was happening, dog.
I didn't know they had the antidote on the roster. He wear number 4. Like,
hey, no, Q, you see chat? You see what Adam said?
What Adam said?
Look at the last comment.
Oh Lord, what am I look at?
Look at the last thing Adam said.
You did call that man the LeBron word.
I did.
You called that man unthinkable things.
I was a little upset. I'm not gonna lie, a little upset.
And look, I wasn't even in them spaces that you be putting up at the peak of your anger. I get you like 3 days after it, right? Like, Nicole be on there on spaces when it's happening. I'll be like, look, man, I'm just get mad listening. And then you be in there and they be like, yeah, man, and Cole, you mad about this, but have you thought about this other thing you've been mad at? Somebody gonna jump on that space, accuse you of not being mad enough, you gonna say some crazy shit.
Oh, you know what they do? It's like, man, Cole, you kind of mad. Are you more mad than that one game where Baker threw 4 interceptions? It's like, what about that game where Lamar threw 4 interceptions and we still lost? I'm like, please don't get me started. Please don't get me started.
Bro, Lamar had like 100 yards passing that game.
Bro, legitimately, the worst football game he's probably played in his life. And he still won that game. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Had like 2 of them. JOK had like 4 TFLs in that one. Grant Delpit was cooking in that game. I remember because Grant was just out there on the edge, just like shuffling the fuck out his feet. And it didn't matter. Dog, they did that in spite of Joe Woods. Like, still
could have changed the whole perception of the team if they would have won that game.
I just want to know how you lose to somebody who threw 4 interceptions and you threw like 1. Like he didn't. I don't even think he matched them bad for bad on turnovers.
That's
like,
how bad he was, bro. That's how bad he was.
Because like he just got crazy, right? Like, okay, y'all just matched each other. It was one of them. Nah, dog, you was being conservative with the football and you lost. Like with 4 extra fucking possessions. Like
that just goes to show the hell we've been going through as Browns fans, man. Like what. We've been through unspeakable hell, bro.
Like, it just finds a way to get worse somehow. Like, but this is weird though. Since Kevin and Andrew Berry been here, it's been like, okay, this not so bad. To like, all right, we got some down years.
It's been not as like the floor hasn't been as bad except for this year, where like Deshaun took a fucking sledgehammer to the floor and just broke it, like straight up, like just blew this bitch up. But like the thing has been, it hasn't been like the floor has been like super low with this team. They'll win like 7 games on a down year, 11 or 10 on a good year. The problem is that all of these years we don't know what the fuck going on at quarterback. Like every single year this team been good. I'm like, I guess that's happening. Like we got the Baker Mayfield hot year, 2021. We like, all right, we doubling down on Baker Mayfield. 3 games into it. Well, that was a bad idea. Okay, what's next? All right, we just started 6 different dudes. We gonna make it so that the quarterback don't matter. And Deshaun Watson was like, oh, you think you can make me not matter? Let me show you. Let me show you how bad I can be like in this system. That like, I don't know. They've tried so hard to make sure that this didn't happen to him, and it still happened. And I'm like, I don't know. With one, it didn't feel like it was ever going to be right. It seemed like everybody in the building hated Baker Mayfield by the time it was for him to go. I mean, the other one, I'm not usually somebody who throws my spirituality into my sports. But look, man, what happened with Deshaun Watson in Cleveland feels like God didn't want something to happen. Right, like it feels spiritual. Like when he popped that Achilles the second time, like, son, he giving you a sign. Just don't come back. like
was he giving him a sign, or was he giving the Browns a sign? Like
he giving everybody.
Everybody. It's like it's over. It's finished. You over here, Deshaun. You got your money. Chill. Just chill. Browns. Don't do this shit again. Like,
don't you go out there and trade for somebody nefarious.
Or draft somebody nefarious. Like everybody talking about draft Mike Green. I'll be like, no.
Oh no. No, these drafts got to be squeaky clean for like the next however many years. They got to be squeaky clean.
That's what I'm saying. Reset it all. Jalen Milroe, 5 in the morning. Travis Hunter, fishing, right? Football and fishing. That's all we need. There's going to be 3 brothers on the boat. Jalen Milroe, Travis Hunter, and Jerry Judy on Lake Erie. Just like, yeah, that's all we do. Like, Joe Thomas approved. Okay? Like,
bro, hey, real quick. I can't believe people be comparing Abdul Carter to Mike Green. Me and Q talked about this, BJX, and I was like, what's his name? The Buffalo dude. He was like, why we got to take Abdul Carter too when we could just wait and then get Mike Green? And in my head, I'm like, you clearly haven't done your Googles, because if you've done your Googles, you know why we can't take Mike Green. And 2, Mike Green ain't as good as Abdul Carter. Like, what are we talking about, dog?
People I was watching one of your videos, Q. People want to trade back just to trade back and just accumulate whatever talent, not realizing that these dudes getting picked in the top 2 and the top 3 for a reason. And yeah, but I really couldn't out of all people, Mike Green too. Like you, right? You obviously haven't heard. You haven't seen?
Like, I don't get how people don't notice. I was like, hey, man, we just got out of a real bad situation.
Yeah.
You try to get right back into that situation.
I'm like, maybe it's my fault. Maybe I'm too online. I see it all. So like, maybe it's my fault that I know all of the shit. But like brother, you ain't heard because I'm sure he brought up Mike Green to somebody else. Like at some other point, he didn't tell you. They're like, hey, bro, no.
No, one of the dudes I'm cool with on Twitter. I think it might have been Manny or somebody was like, hey man, why don't you talk about Mike Green? I feel like he's pretty good. And I was like, brother, you gotta. Hey, I was like, just do a quick Google search. Just type in Mike Green name on Google real quick. See what come up.
And look, outside the Google search situation, they both played Ohio State. And I saw how Mike Green looked against Ohio State. I saw how Abdul looked against Ohio State. and Mike Green wasn't going up on the left side. That's the thing. He was going up against whoever it was playing right tackle for Ohio State. And no disrespect, he's much better than I could ever dream to be at football. But for that level of competition, the right tackle for Ohio State was not very good. Like, he was not very strong last year. And Mike ain't really get off until his backup came in. Meanwhile, Abdul Cook and Donovan Jackson, who you could argue might have been the best offensive lineman on the team last year. And Donovan had confidence at that point because he was like, I could bully him, right? Because he kind of bullied him in that first half, but that second half was a different story. It's not happening.
Hey, Donovan Jackson had a really good stretch of games in the college football playoff too. Like he was like cooking in the college football playoffs. Abdul was whooping his ass, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, look, when you think gave him that confidence, he's like, I don't got to go up against that no more. Like, I'm good.
Exactly. Like I've seen the worst. I've been through it. You can't do whoever you line up against. You can't do what he did.
It's like Dan Moore every time he gets done playing Miles. He's like, hey, bro, you can't hurt me as much as he did. You ever just look around and see if you can find a 6'6", 300-pound motherfucker because he just crawling on the ground right past you, running 4.5? Like no. You can always tell a player's code on the defensive line by how players or defensive offensive line by how players react to him, right? Like I knew Jason Kelce was cold because every time a defensive lineman talked, it was like Aaron Donald. He was like, fucking Jason Kelce, little small, fast ass, be just moving around and stuff. And then with Miles, every time they bring him up to a tackle, they do. Yeah. You need help. Or they give you the speech where it's like, bro, my coach left me on the island with him. Like, I'm going to be so pissed. Like, yeah, it's different levels. When TJ Watt come up, they're like, hey, he's really good, but you know, he's going to try to run down your middle of your chest. You just got to make sure you're ready for it. Like, no, there's no game plan for Miles Garrett. It's like, hey, bruh.
You got to pray. You got to pray and bring some more people.
Mm-hmm. There's no your plan.
I know Miles was cold. No, I don't know Miles was cold. Because people was calling Rashawn Slater the mile stopper before the most recent game against the Chargers. Did he have 3 sacks that game? You should have seen Rashawn. You should have seen Rashawn every time he got a sack. He was just like.
No, I remember when he sacked Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor just looked at him like, "What the fuck was that? Was that you?"
No, I guess that Jags. I guess the game against the Jags, not last year, but the year before. But he was like after the game, when he was like, "Man, I'm glad we ain't got to play y'all twice a year."
No, that was nasty what they did to the, because like they gave him the gauntlet. It was like, oh yeah, you gotta deal with Trey Hendrickson, and then right after that, you deal with the Ravens blitzing 1 million people at you, and then right after that, you deal with TJ Watt, and then right when you tired, you beat up, your team's been injured, you might be on your second tackle. Here come Myles Garrett. Dog, what the fuck is this? Like, give me him first. Like, let me be healthy for him. Like, you can't. No. And by the time it got there, it was like, all right. Myles knew he didn't even have to go hard. He's like, let me get my 2 sacks in. Okay. End this game real quick. No, what he did to Justin Fields, like Justin Fields' rookie year, I don't think he's ever forgotten that. Justin Fields has never stood in the pocket with confidence after what Miles.
You saying Miles ruined him? You saying Miles ruined him from that point forward?
Did you look at Justin Fields' face when Miles ran him down? He's never been ran down. Miles came from behind, grabbed the back of his jersey, just pulled him down. He was like, what the fuck just happened here? I had grass. I thought I was going to get 20. I know what his welcome to the NBA of the NFL moment was right there. Like,
hey, real quick, we got to get back on track because I'm telling you, this is the show for tangents. If you try to go on a tangent, this is the show for that. But BJs, how you feel about taking Travis Hunter at 2? Is there any apprehension for you? Is there anything you're worried about, or are you just like, hey, like run this card up immediately?
Yeah, run the card up immediately. I've finally gotten over the fact that they're not taking Shadour at 2. Like I can accept that. But I think you would be doing a disservice if you don't take Travis Hunter at 2. And once you take him, I think you would be doing a disservice if you don't like immediately start out trying to play him both ways as much as possible immediately. Like the whole conversation with like, oh, he's a corner and have him like do a package of plays on offense at receiver. I don't subscribe to that. If you're going to take him at 2, do what you should be doing with him since you took him at 2. Like, try to make him play both ways as much as reasonably possible. And I don't know what reasonably, like, I don't know what's reasonable because we've never seen this before.
Next question. That's what I was my next question. Like, what do you consider reasonable?
Like, I really don't know what's reasonable. Like, I guess it depends on the coaching staff and how they want to game plan and how they want to go about it. But like, I would take him at 2, and I would spend as much time as you need to formulating a plan, like practice plan. Like if he doesn't practice as much, so he ready to go on game day, like that kind of stuff. But because he's so dynamic as a receiver, I cannot imagine him being just a part-time player at receiver. Because like Colb, I'm sure you know, you'd follow me on Twitter. You've seen I watch Colorado every single week, and the things that I've seen Travis do at wide receiver are kind of unbelievable for somebody that's also a full-time corner. Like it's just like we've literally never seen this before.
Yeah, this seemed like he spent most of his time like before college developing on the defensive side of the ball. And like when he got out there playing wide, like his first year at Jackson State, I'm like, man, that's a dude who's played wide receiver primarily in high school and on 7-on-7 camps, right? Like, but he was still finding a way to make plays. And I think that's the most intriguing thing about Travis. Some dudes just can be a magnet for big plays and big moments. And Travis, like you watch Colorado, every time you're like, uh-oh, they need to score right here. Next thing you know, big ass play for Travis, right? Like out of nowhere, keep him in the game. And that kind of dude's rare, right? That dude don't pop up every day.
Right. Like whenever they need a third down or they behind the sticks or whatever, all of a sudden you see 12 juke 2 dudes and he running down the sideline, and Deion Jr. got the camera running right behind him. Like,
oh man. So this is how I kind of perceive the Travis thing from my perspective. I don't know if I'm fully on board with just like let him play both ways as much as you possibly can and just see what happens. Like in my mind, you got to play him primarily as a receiver. And then if there's like a package or like certain situations on defense where you could put him out there at corner and just like have him play like kind of like sparingly, like a few snaps every game, you know what I'm saying? Depending on what the situation is, just to have him out there. And I feel like it's probably more beneficial for him to be as involved in the offense as possible. And then like you kind of work him in on defense, like going forward, as opposed to trying to do it the opposite way where he's like defense the entire time. And then you trying to work him in like here or there on offense. But I'm just like, I think the reason I also wanted them to take Carter was because it's simpler. Like you take Carter, you know how it is, no creativity, it's simple. You know how this is gonna go.
Madden don't gotta patch the game so you can use them right.
Exactly.
Like you know exactly how this. You know exactly what he gonna do. I know exactly what he gonna do. They know exactly what he gonna do, and it's gonna be simple. It's gonna be fine. I guess the only thing that made me apprehensive with Travis is like, man, I don't know what the Browns go. I don't know how the Browns gonna handle this.
Yeah, every time I see Andrew Berry look at that man, I'm like, I think he got a plan. Like, like, that looks like somebody who has a plan ready for that player. And I think it's a good sign that he's like, nah, I see him as a wide receiver because he wants to use him where there's going to be the most of availability for him to be impactful day one. And just the raw talent, the ball tracking, everything you can't teach other than height and weight at the wide receiver position. He's so far above everybody else in this class. And he actually watches film. I don't know if y'all heard about Ted saying he don't watch film.
Probably not what NFL teams want to hear.
No, that was wild. I'm like, because I do a lot of fantasy football, like dynasty fantasy football, and I was like, I heard that, and obviously not as serious as like the Browns or whatever, but I'm like, oh, he's off my board. He don't want to watch film. Like, at least even if you don't actually watch film as a receiver, that's whatever in itself. But brother, how can you be on camera saying that you don't watch film?
That is the bigger problem, right? Bigger problem. Nothing went off in your head. Like when you were like, nah, I don't even watch film. Like, you thought that was a flex. Like you thought it was a good thing. That's why you said it. No shame was brought up. And then I'm like, oh yeah, my man trying to get paid. Like that's all he trying to do out here is get paid. And it's one thing if you like Amari Cooper only trying to get paid, because Amari Cooper tried to get paid, but Amari Cooper show up to the fucking locker room with the briefcase, right? Like he gonna show up working like I should get paid because this and that, he could do all that work. Nah, man, Tay out here like, bro, once I get that first bag, like, we'll see. Like, ooh, that's a gamble. That sounds like something a team at 30 should do, not somebody at 2.
He said, I don't watch film. I don't really watch football. Like, I just play, like I get it. It's a lot of people in the league that it's just a job. It's just a job, and that's okay. That is perfectly okay. But before you hit the league, you have to be on your P's and Q's. And oh yeah, I watch all kind of film. As soon as I get on the plane when we going back home after the game, I'm watching it.
Look, you ain't got to worry about that with Travis Hunter, right? He loved the game so much he played 2 goddamn positions. He got to.
Yes.
He absolutely does not have to play 2 positions. Like that's extra work for less pay, right? Like he's not gonna get a DB salary put on top of him. They're not about to pay him $60 million in the league. He knows this. He just like, nah, I like overtime. And like this someone you want to draft at number 2 if you were an employer, right? Like,
yeah, free labor in 2025, free labor. Yeah, run that.
$40 million. If he gives you 300 snaps on defense, that is a discount. Like, what? You are winning. I bet Andrew Berry looking at him like, oh man, the value proposition on him is insane. Like,
you ain't talking about the right. You ain't talking about the right person. I know Jimmy Haslam looking at him like, you know what? This boy is a dream come true.
He like to play both sides, and he won the Heisman. I think he's pretty good, Andrew. What you think about him? Like he's in charge of the conversation.
Hey, at least Jimmy can't mess this one up.
Hey, bro. He already admitted he's not going to do it this year. Like, he came out. I swear to you, I think that was part of the Myles Garrett extension. This is not, I'm just guessing here, right? But people are like, oh, well, what did they tell Myles? What quarterback did they get for Myles? Was it Dak Prescott? And I'm like, it'd be hilarious if all we found out was like, hey, man, he just wanted Jimmy to admit that it was not going to happen with Deshaun. Just admit that in front of everybody and I'll sign the contract. And then Jimmy was like, hey, man, Swing and a miss. All right. He out there talking about, I'm smiling because I know who the quarterback gonna be. Nah, he knew who it wasn't. Right. It's my team. I do wonder with like the Browns in pursuit for a quarterback, that is going to be an interesting thing to manage, because Miles has gotten to the point where this is going to be his franchise, even if a quarterback emerges, and whoever's the quarterback has to be okay with that. Like, because I think that was some of the friction with him. Like, he's beefed with quarterbacks multiple times here. And like, some of it was performance related for sure. But I also think part of this is like, hey man, like with the Baker thing, Baker started thinking like this team was his, and Miles is like, no, this is my city. Like, what you talking about? And I do wonder, like, do you have to think about that when you want to get a quarterback in here? Like, okay, is this guy going to be cool, understanding what the dynamics are, at least until Miles turns like 37 or 35 or something like that, right? Like that, you know, this ain't gonna be your show. But now, I mean, the age difference is so big, it's probably not even gonna ever matter, right? Because the longer and longer it goes, this is not gonna be a thing.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter. And like if you think the quarterback is good, get him. Like, get him. Like, not like a couple years ago, I'd have said do whatever you can do to get him. But now, with hindsight, I could say do a reasonable amount. Like, maybe don't trade 3 first-round picks for a quarterback if you don't need to. But you know, fully guaranteed. Like, actually, picks weren't even the worst part. Fully guaranteed.
No, it was the contract, right?
Yeah. So,
which we found out was 100% Jimmy.
Like, it didn't, like, obviously it didn't work, but like, I'm really not mad at it. Like, my owner got bread and he throwing it around to try to fix the team, and it is what it is. It didn't work out. They tried. We'll do something else.
I think Isaac Okoro just got hurt, but
okay.
Yeah, because he got smacked on a fast break, and he was posed like the Family Guy characters when they lay down for like 2 minutes.
Bro, the Cavs got to be healthy, bro. When they get to the offs, man.
Yeah, he got up, so he fell hard as hell on his butt. That's Isaac Okoro too. So, anyways, my bad. But yeah, you brought up quarterback. Can we talk about, because like with the Sanders, with Shadour and the Sanders family, there's a lot of stupid in there. Like when it comes to like people's like criticisms, that it gets to a very stupid place because of everything around them for multiple different reasons. It makes it hard like when you actually have a criticism, because you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna get swooped up with all the dumb shit, right? But I want to point out that I think I've seen the dumbest pre-draft controversy of all time, which is, why does Shadour pat the ball? I have never ever thought about that being a problem. Like, what? Who allowed this narrative to spread? It's my
Andre
question.
Cisco. That's
Andre, the linebacker in the NFL?
Yes,
yeah.
Andre Cisco.
See, this
for real.
Just because a dude be good at football, sometimes I'll be like, man, they be saying wild shit sometimes. Like, what?
Yeah, we're like, at this point, the draft has been like, this process has been so long. We're just trying to find stuff to talk about, and especially to talk about Shadour. Like, I could go on a whole soapbox about people talking about Shadour Sanders and the criticisms, but like patting the ball, like, really, we're gonna say like this is a huge issue? It's like, it's not. We've seen him, like, watch the film. Like, we see it on film. Like, has he been late because he's patting the ball? No. Like, he might be late because he's drifting and he's throwing off his back foot. Like, that might be a reason why he's late, but it's not because he's patting the football.
Yeah, it's like there are actual things you could kind of like pick about Shadour with. But I guess we talked about those things enough to where it's like, nah, let's make up some shit about him patting the ball. Because like, I swear every quarterback pats the ball. Like,
there was a video. They put out a video of like every single quarterback in the NFL patting the ball.
Yeah, but back to Travis, I think that is that's been the interesting player to watch this draft process, because like when these scouts are first talking about it, they were so stuck in a box about him. And the thing with Travis is exactly what we said earlier. I think this is a good way to put it. You can't even use Travis in Madden as he exists right now. Like they need to patch Madden so you can use Travis Hunter in the correct way, because he's that dynamic and that different of a thing that he causes that much of a difference in the game. Like he could, if he's successful playing both ways in NFL, inspire somebody to have the confidence to think they can do that. What he did in college and what he might do in the NFL, and it might become a lot more common, right? And we're like, wow, like Travis Hunter really broke the mold there, the same way we talk about how Mike Vick broke the mold for what a quarterback could look like and what could be effective quarterback play. And then we saw Lamar Jackson take that mold and basically make it mainstream to where it's not like, oh yeah, you just got to be Lamar Jackson. Now people are like, oh man, well maybe Jayden Milroe can do that. It's crazy, right? How far it can go. I go to that winning time quote where he's like, what, the first sub 4 minute mile wasn't ran for like the first 2,000 years of people trying to do it. And then one guy does it 40 days later. Somebody else does a sub 4 minute mile. And it's like, oh, sometimes the barrier is mental. And I think a lot of the hesitation to use Travis as a two-way player in the league is simply because nobody's ever really tried in the modern incarnation of the NFL. But if he ends up playing 1,000 snaps in a season, that's not crazy, right? Like a wide receiver plays 1,000 snaps. They just spend 200, 300 snaps, maybe blocking, right? Like you just got to be really judicial about what parts of the field you put him on, offensively and defensively. But there's obviously a way to have it work. And if the Browns have as much invested in analytics and all that situational number stuff, then they should be the perfect team to look at this and go, oh yeah, well, if we play Shadour in these moments, these high leverage situations, it's going to maximize his snaps and you're going to get a lot of value out of it. I think we looked at Ladd McConkey, 583 receiving snaps, all it took for him to get 1,100 yards.
Right.
So it can be done. The question is, are you willing to think out the box enough to get it done? And I would hope that that's what Andrew Berry's mindset is going with him at number 2, is like, hey, we're willing to break the mold a bit on this kid, because you're not going to get the most out of Travis Hunter. He's a unicorn, and you're not going to get the most out of a unicorn taking the horn off, right? Like you got to let him be what he is.
Yeah, if you're taking him at 2, if you just have him as strictly a receiver, he's not number 2 overall worthy. Like he's still a great prospect, but he's not like somebody you should take at number 2. And then at corners don't go that high. Like Okudah went 3, and like I think that's the highest a corner has gone. But like just also as a corner, I wouldn't take him at 2 either. But when you put the prospect of him together and you're able to get something from both of those sides, definitely somebody you should take at 2. And like I think Andrew Berry is somebody that would have that kind of plan.
Yeah, and if you think you could use him on both sides, it becomes a no-brainer at that point, right? Like you gotta. If you think he could be a third down critical player on both sides of the ball, I mean, that player has no value. Like not no value as in like they're not valuable. I mean, no value as in you can't quantify it. Like that player is as valuable as any non-quarterback can be. And we saw this demonstrated in Colorado. He stays healthy. When he's healthy, Colorado can win games, right? He's not healthy. They look a little bit different. But a healthy Travis made all the difference for them. They won 9 games. People expecting Colorado to be ass. I was joking with Colb. I was like, they not being bowl eligible. We was roasting Colb. They won 9 games, right? Like,
listen, I came out on top. Shout out Trav.
You know what I mean?
I was with you.
I need to stop underestimating wide receivers is what I'm learning in this show, right? Travis Hunter, Jeremiah Smith. I need to not underestimate the power of a good wide receiver. Maybe that's what I'm learning. Speaking of the power of a good wide receiver, let's talk about Jalen Milroe. Because well, the truth is, like, and I'm somebody who has liked Jalen Milroe longer than most. And I think Jalen Milroe could be useful as a passer. I just think you have to understand what his limitations are going to be in the league. And accuracy, he can improve it. I trust that he can work hard enough to improve it, but he ain't going to get you to the point to where he's an accurate quarterback, right? Like there's always going to be some jank to some of these throws. And I think the smartest thing Howie Roseman realized was that was always going to be the case with Jalen Hurts, right? Like there was always going to be like, man, he don't throw that ball deep enough at all. This shit hung in the air. And if you try to put Jalen Hurts in a situation where he's got to be like that as a quarterback, you're going to see what happened to him in 2023. That's why they fired those offensive coordinators that were in charge there. But if you put him in a situation where it's like, hey, you allow him to do what he does special, which is run the ball, and then you throw off of that, and then you put wide receivers out there who, you know, can give him some room for error on accuracy. He makes good enough decisions to where you can live with that. Milroe's accuracy has to get up, but it is worth noting he's like, 1 percentage point in weighted on target behind Cam Ward, who people swear to me doesn't have accuracy issues, right? Even though they're all over his tape. So yes, he's a project, but like he's 22, right? So you get a year with him before he's the same age as Cam Ward and Shadour are right now. So maybe there's a chance he can improve that. And if he gets to points where he's like a 64, 65% weighted on target guy, then I think that's good enough to win with, given his gifts athletically. Because look, there are dudes who run fast in the combine or run fast at the pro day, and you're like, they don't run that fast on tape. Jalen Milroe, he's one of the few dudes I've seen run a 4.4, and I'm like, he's faster than that. He's so much faster than that. I've seen him beat Nick McWarry to the edge against South Carolina. I'm like, damn, like he ran 4.39.
Yeah, like Jalen is like definitely a project, and so let's talk about this real quick. He got invited to the draft. And he's going to the draft. So like I took that as either he knows, his camp knows, a team has told him be ready to be picked earlier than we may think you were supposed to go.
Real quick, who's his agent? Who represents him?
I don't know.
Is it
you know who his agent is?
It's not. Is it? Who is it?
Let me just double check to make sure I'm not wrong, because I believe he shares an agent with Miles.
Oh, he got her.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He is Clutch Sports Made is what he is.
Okay.
That's why Miles was smiling. You're like, they about to run that bitch next year. Time, dog. We're trying to win time. That's all Miles want them to do on offense. Win time of possession, please. We get 3 and outs or 3 and outs, and then y'all getting mad at me at the end of the game. They've had 13 possessions. Like, slow shit down. If we get 8 possessions each, we gonna win. But nah, y'all keep fucking around on offense.
Yeah. So just I just want to point that out. So you know who his agent is. They share an agent. He had a private workout with the Browns that came out yesterday. Yep. I'm pretty sure Jimmy Haslam went to go see him.
Yeah, and the interesting stuff about this is that it's not coming out the day of. Like a lot of the stuff when I'm like, oh, it's not serious. If like you find out the day of the meeting, but like 2 weeks after, they tried to hide that. Why are you trying to hide that, right? And that's Tommy Rees is over there, right? Like
Tommy Rees is the offensive coordinator.
I posted up the thing about you being on Milroe Island finally, and then people were like, well, how do you think he's a fit? He's an RPO guy. And I'm like, first of all, like he's not an RPO guy. He's just runs read option. Like Jackson Dart is a RPO guy where like 90% of his shit is there. Or like even Cam Ward runs a ton of RPO stuff. As most college football players do. But I was like, how is the team that has his old offensive coordinator the one that's not going to be a fit for him? like he's played in the offense. He was his most successful when he played in that offense, even though he was significantly behind where he is in his pocket resilience Like he was almost too resilient in the pocket in 2024, which like I would take over being too flighty. But and like he was significantly less accurate in 2023 than he was in 2024. And he still put up really good numbers, was able to win a lot of games with Alabama. They won the SEC championship against a Georgia team that like probably should have won the national championship if it wasn't for that. What they do to that poor school, they played in that bowl game. They had their backups out. They beat them like 80 something. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how is that team not a fit for Jalen Milroe? And that's just the surface level stuff. I mean, I haven't even got into the fact that like, hey, this dude seems like he really wants to be in structure. Like he really wants to be on time. He really wants to work within it, you know, because he could have been a better college football player if he played a little bit more like Cam Ward, where Cam can say, fuck it and just do what he wants because he's the athlete that can do that. But no, he was pretty dedicated to like, nah, I'm going to wait for this guy to clear across and I'm going to hold this. I think he had 7 hits while thrown under pressure. That is 3 times as much as like Shadour, who had like 2. Right? Like he stayed in the pocket and threw some of these balls, which is exactly what you want from a quarterback in Kevin's system, where it's like, hey, you got to stay in there and wait for it. He's willing to wait for it. You just got to hope that the mechanics catch up and that it sticks with him. But I like the idea of getting him at 33. I've been up and down on it. The Senior Bowl was not encouraging, but everything since the Senior Bowl has brought me back on this train where I'm like, you know what? Milroe at 33 makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, I'm still not there. But I'm coming around. Like I was watching him last night, and that what he did to LSU just running the football was criminal. Like
with them.
No, zero. They had 0 shots
in that game where I'm like, that's the most impressive run I've ever seen in my life. And then another one comes like, no, that's the most impressive run I've ever seen in my life. And then that last one hit where he get like 80, and I'm like, that's the most impressive run.
Well, I love how every time somebody talk about Jalen Milroe, that LSU game is the first thing they bring up every single time.
His entire portfolio versus LSU is insane. He's got like 8 touchdowns in 2 games. No exaggeration.
Like, I don't know what Brian Kelly did to him because every time you see that purple and gold, he goes off.
Look, outplayed Jayden Daniels, both passing and like running in that game in 2023. Like, I think he was like, what? It was like something crazy where it was like 25 of 30 for like 270. And he went off for like 104 touchdowns on the ground. And you can just see LSU being like, what the fuck are we supposed to do?
Nothing. There's nothing to do. You just gotta. But
Bro,
you have that.
Oh, go ahead, my bad.
And then like you have that, but then they lose to Oklahoma and don't put up any points. Like they don't score any touchdowns.
When it's good with Jalen Milroe, it is as good as anybody in college football. Like I think that's the thing with Jalen, right? He could take over a game and be a game wrecker in a way that I don't think a lot of guys are capable of doing from the quarterback position. The problem is, and the reason he's not a first-round pick, is he wasn't consistent. He didn't put it all together. My thing with him is this. That was something that we could say about Shadour when he was 22 and Cam Ward. They came close to I think Shadour put it together. I don't think Cam Ward fully put it together because some of the bullshit that bugs you about Cam Ward before last year absolutely reared its ugly head in Miami. But with Shadour, he put it together in a way to where you felt a lot more comfortable with him. I wonder what 22 to 23 is going to be for him, right? Like, I don't think he was that far from putting it together. I think at times it looked like it because when it was bad, And then it's Alabama and he's looking like that. And I think that adds to it, right? Like if he played for Arkansas and he looked like ass, okay, dog, it's Arkansas. We know what it is. But if it's Bama and you losing, like we're conditioned to get excited every time Alabama suffers, right? Like that. We've grown up in the era of Alabama dominance. You played college football in the era of the Alabama dominance, right? Like, so we're used to that. But Jaylen was the last guy at the end of this thing, right? Bryce Young was probably the last guy that's going to be associated with that. He's the transition guy. And I think when he struggled, it just made it seem a lot bigger. But then when you watch, like for me, when I watched the tape and I'm separated from everything that I felt during college football season and that being Alabama, and I just looked at them as a normal team, I'm like, well, that offensive line wasn't very good, right? Like I think a lot of the times where I thought he had bad pocket presence, I look at the play, I'm like, but it's leaving him out to dry. Like everybody's like 30 yards downfield. Like what the fuck's he supposed to do? You know? And I think a lot of the context around him, I'm like, oh, it looks like a guy in the offense for a first year that, you know, the offensive coordinator and him just weren't on the same page sometimes. And I wonder, like, if he had went back to school and played and put it together, well, then what does that make him in next year's draft? Probably makes him like the number one overall pick if he puts it, right? All together, depending on what Lenore Sellers does, who also has that freaky athletic ability. But it puts him in that conversation. I'm like, is this somebody who just wasn't in a position to put it all together in Alabama? And maybe this year he could put it all together and he was on pace to do it, or at least on track to do it. I tend to look at him and think that there's a better than average chance that could happen with him, because the fundamentals, like the foundation for it to happen, you could see it when you watch him play. He's not confused as a passer. He doesn't look like he doesn't know what he wants to do. It looks like he knows what he's trying to do, but he just can't get it to the point where it all looks smooth, right? But it kind of reminds me of like Evan Mobley, right? Where it's like, oh, I see what Evan's trying to do, but he can't chain it together quite yet. And then you finally see him chain it together. You're like, all right. But then you're like, why he don't do that all the time, right?
Yeah.
Do it sometimes and not all the time. There are people who get way lower on Evan than what's necessary because they want him to be that guy all the time. And I think there's something similar there with Jaylen, because we watched this dude outrun the Georgia secondary, who has like a first round pick and then a future first round pick as a freshman. Like, and he just straight up outruns them from a horrific angle. Like he didn't even get a good angle to beat the guy. And he just S-curls around the field. And you're like, wow. And you're like, why can't that guy be that all the time? Or you watch him on that 4th and 17 play and he makes that incredible throw to Isaiah Bond at the end of the game. Or you watch some of the stuff he does in the clutch. And you're like, why can't he be this guy all the time? And I think he's just a young player putting it together. I wonder if there's going to be a season, or if he gets time, will he finally put together and what it looks like with him? I tend to think it's closer to like what Cap looked like than like Lamar. Like nobody's going to be. Now, I ain't going to believe anybody going to be Lamar until I fucking see it. I'll be late.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, I'm never going to project anybody to look like Lamar. But I do think he could be somebody, if you have the right wide receivers around, somebody can get a 50-50 ball. You can minimize his natural flaws, maximize his gifts, and you could put together a hell of an offense there. And with Myles Garrett, you're going to have a good defense as long as you have a competent defensive coordinator. And if you get really good at one of those sides of the ball for a year, who knows what can happen, right? But it's going to take an investment. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't think it's going to take like 2 years to develop him. But I do think with him, you got to look at him and really like try to see, if you give him the chance to play, can he put it together? Because I don't think it's that far away from him, or at least as far as some people make it out to be with him.
So let me ask, do you think he should like see the field immediately, like Anthony Richardson, like he needs to be out there to get those reps? Or is it like a situation you do bring in Kirk Cousins and you let him watch? Because like I'm listening to you, I'm like coming around a little bit, but in that situation, I feel like he needs to play and get the reps.
I think it depends on like how you feel about where he's at with his mechanics, right? If you feel like he's at a place to where his mechanics are consistent through non-contact drills, preseason, 11-on-11, 7-on-7s, then at that point, the next step is he has to play to see if he can maintain it through physical contact. But if you want to get to a point where you're like, I want it to be muscle memory with him as much as possible, then you might want to give him 6 weeks. I do think that there is something to having a player get too used to just practicing at quarterback versus playing it. Maybe this is like the Deshaun thing gonna break a generation of Browns fans for many different reasons. But I'm like, maybe he just stood around practicing too goddamn much. He got used to being a practice player. Because like sometimes you're like, this is how you play at practice, right? When you watch Deshaun. And I want him to not get too comfortable with like the practice of it all. Like I think that happened with DTR too, where it's like he didn't play enough. So when he got in the game, it was too much for him. So I think if you get Milro, I think his floor is higher than people think because he's just such a good athlete that like you could do the Justin Fields plan with him. And he has a good arm too. Like he's not DTR where he can't throw that bitch past 35. He can air it out, right? Like you can't just cheat and bring everybody in with him. So, you know, I would say if you want Kirk to start the whole year, you could do that. You got to work him in and get him some live contact and let him actually fucking throw when you work the packages in. But you don't got to start him if you want to be extra conservative about it. But I do want him to play. But, you know, I wouldn't mind the plan being, hey, we'll give him 6 weeks. We think he's closer than most people think he is. And let's let him play through it because a lot of this shit, you kind of just got to play through to make sure that you can do it and stick with it through the actual stress of playing in that game, you know, and the physical toll that's going to take on you. You can practice that shit all you want, but, you know, it's different than when it's live. I'm sure you know. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So, all right, so we got to talk about we got to talk about another situation since B Jackson's on here. We got to talk about another situation now. So let's say hypothetically, okay, we taking Travis at 2. So we taking Travis at 2. That's over. That's done with.
Bet.
Shadour is falling, and when I say falling, I mean free falling.
Like past 21. Like do we get past Pittsburgh or are you right? Or we at like 18? Pittsburgh
comes up. They got the pick. They're like, nah, we good. We're not taking Shadour. So he passed the Steelers.
All right.
So let's say we get to pick like 30, 31 or something like that.
Oh, get on the phone.
Yeah.
but him and Jalen both there. What you doing? Well, I know what you're doing.
Yeah, you know what I'm doing.
The only thing that would stop me from taking Shadour is like, okay, figure out how much this kid like actually like. Do he actually now doesn't want to play here, or is he fine with being here? If you get no red flags in that conversation with him, then you take Shadour because that's the number 1 quarterback that I have. I just don't think he's a number 2 overall guy. I think he's more aligned with like mid to late first. So if you get him in the late first and you would trade up not much to get him, I'm not going to be upset, especially if you pair him with Travis Hunter. Yeah. Now, look, the Colorado fans are going to drive us crazy, and I need everybody to understand we going to hate them at times, okay? Just like the Baker stands got on our nerves. And if the Watson stands ever got momentum, they would have got on our nerves, but there was never that moment for them to harden their alliance around Deshaun. No pun intended. But that situation you brought up, you would almost have to do it, right? Like, unless Kevin's like, I don't want that fucking guy on my team, or,
right?
Or like, you know, something like that, or Shadour or Dion, like they still be an asshole. Like, no, we don't want you to take us. All right, bruh. Fuck it. We will embarrass you and trade up to 30 and take Milro. And then it's like, whatever, bro. Like now you've been passed on twice. Like, okay. But if you're not getting any red flags from that conversation, then yeah, why not? Right? Like, what does it really cost you? And you do start him right away, just to see what you got, because you know Jalen Milroe, you willing to wait that one out because you see that as a project. Shadour, I got to see the signs.
Like I'm like he's my QB1. Like I'm planting my flag, and if you do take him, you have to start him, and he's gonna have to show and prove. Like at some point in year one. Like obviously there's rookies, you don't have to have it all put together, but you better get out there and show some flashes.
Yeah.
Like it better look impressive like at some point.
And my thing with him is like I feel like kind of like not to as drastic, I hope, but I feel like something similar to what happened with Bryce Young might happen with him, where it's like the adjustment to just like how he has to think about the game at his level of athleticism versus the NFL, it's going to be a bit more of a toll than people think. And he might not look great that first year, but you got to give him time. I think he'll be a starter eventually. Like with like a dude like Cam, I'm like, he'll give you flashes, no doubt, but I don't know if he's ever going to give you anything that can give you a floor because you have him at quarterback. But yeah, with Shadour, I do worry like early on, that might be rough because he do like to roll out. You know, he do like to drift in that pocket. And if he run lower than, higher than a 4.8, then that's going to be a tough proposition in the NFL, bro. Like, because everybody can chase you down at that point. And like the pocket mechanics stuff, right? Where he kind of has this tendency to also kind of make his tackles life a little bit harder. But yeah, still, I don't think you're going to get a better shot at somebody late in the draft next year than you would at Shadour, right? Like Shadour would be a pretty solid get in the late round in any draft.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of talk about how people want to like wait and see what we can get in 2026. 2026 isn't guaranteed to produce like a number one overall type quarterback. Like there's a bunch of dudes that we think maybe can get there, but like as it stands right now, they're not all there. And at least with Shadour, like what you see is what you'll be getting. And it looks like at bare minimum, like he could be like top 20 quarterback in the league. Like even if it's low, and even if it's like 18, 19, 20, like
better than what we had.
Yeah, for sure.
Better than what we had. I'll take it.
Yeah, just won't. It get awkward when it's time to pay. That's when it gets awkward. When it's time to pay. Hey, look, you can see San Francisco getting real awkward right now with Brock Purdy, where it's like, it's all fun and games when you on that rookie deal.
It's getting tight. It's getting tight over there. So yeah, I get it.
You to keep you. Do we want to do that? I think like my most wild prediction is like, hey, if there's one team that shocks us when they take Jalen Milroe, it would be the 49ers. I would be like, oh yeah, they would jump up and do it because like if they think they can just make up a dude and that guy has that talent, Kyle Shanahan's like, oh, he's coachable. It's not like Trey Lance where he just like comes to San Francisco and first thing he do is hit up the strip club. Like, okay, like I could work with this dude. I wouldn't be because like they also seem very desperate to just get out their quarterback situation right now. And I would be shocked. Let me put it this way, but I would be like, some shit I did think of. Like that could happen. Like,
listen, man, we're gonna talk about ideal draft scenarios in a second, but I do think there's a 0% chance that the Browns are staring at Jalen and Shadour like in the bottom half of that first round. And I think there's a decent chance they end up taking Jalen.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. Like, I personally would go Shadour.
I'm just thinking about the reaction from fans when that happens.
and you're right. You're right. Like, it could happen, and I could see them picking Milro. I'd be sick. I would be sick.
I would be like, ooh, they gotta be real confident this gonna work out.
Yeah, like, hey, look, it's gotta be like the Chris Apps.
I'm so like people that like know me in real life, they like I would get calls and they'd be like, "Are you okay?"
That's the worst. Bro, you see what just happened? Why are you calling me? I know you saw what just happened.
That's how my family be. That's how my family be when the Lakers lose real bad. They be like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Leave me alone, please."
Yeah.
Please leave me alone. Thank you.
Like, damn, man, I guess y'all need a center.
But I'm like, in my mind, I'm just like, man, especially coming off the whole Deshaun shit.
Hey,
I don't know if the fan base could survive Shadour being there and then they pass on him and they take Jaylen and then somebody like the Steelers or like whatever come back up and get Shadour.
I will throw this out here though. There is also a non-zero chance that the Browns spurred Shadour Sanders that will lead to Shadour saying something that will galvanize Cleveland fans against him. Right, where he is 100% the I didn't even want your ugly ass anyway.
Oh man, I hope he say I ain't want to go to Cleveland. I ain't want to go to dirty ass Cleveland. I'd be like, thank you.
You ever hear Chris Paul talk about the draft where he's like, I crossed my fingers. All right, Utah didn't take me. No, it'll be something like that. He'll throw that one in there, because he's not gonna be able to. Like, I think he can handle Cam Ward going ahead of him, but Jalen Milroe, he's not gonna have a good reaction to that.
No, the whole family. Like we talked about like the Sanders family and like how ludicrous like all that stuff is. But if Jalen Milroe or even Jackson Dart goes before him, there's gonna be hell to pay. Like social media wise, like it's like Bucky, Shadour, Prime, like everybody, it's gonna go crazy.
Deion Jr. draft documentary.
Absolutely. If Dart goes before him, if Jackson Dart gets drafted before Shadour Sanders, he has every right to react poorly to that. Like he 100%. I'm like, no, this is 100% justified. You got every right to be upset about this.
They would handle that way better because Deion is still like he grew up. Well, he was born in the 60s.
I don't know.
He's 50. He's 57.
Okay, so he around my dad age.
He's 70. So it would be 50. How old is he?
57.
He's 57. Oh yeah, so 60s.
Okay, so look, my dad was born in 66. And let me tell you something about them old school dudes. They ain't gonna put nothing past racism. Right? This is the name, bro. Oh, they took him? I expected that. My father about my dad grew up in Louisiana. Like in that time period, it'd be so hard to shock him about any racism. He like, yeah, when they did that, yeah, it's Iowa.
Nah. If the Giants end up taking Jackson Dart, he gonna be like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, we know their history, right?
Yeah, I said that a long time ago. I was like, are we like we're just assuming like they want to get Cam or Shadour in the building to be their quarterback? Like y'all are very presumptuous about that.
They have started a black man intentionally. One time it put out a press release apologizing for it. And it was Gino Smith that they
My dog, there has been nothing that has happened in the NFL that I've been more vindicated about, like playing with Gino Smith and like the discourse being what it was like with the Jets and with the Giants and backing up Russ in Seattle. When he finally got the opportunity to start in Seattle and started cooking, I've never been more proud and more vindicated because I'm like, I've known this for legitimately 10 years.
It was such a long climb for him to get to where he is. And he just got 37 a year from the Raiders.
Mm-hmm. Love to see a black man.
Love to see a black man get paid. Out the KOD.
Love to see a black man get paid.
Love it.
Is that like your least favorite J. Cole album too? Well, no, everybody least.
I think that's everybody's least favorite J. Cole album. But
I like that album.
Listen, he had a bar with that one. He had a bar with that one.
Yeah,
that was the Lil Pump song, right?
Yeah, it was.
That shit was a long time ago. Yeah, you think a Lil Pump since. Okay.
Hey, in fairness to J. Cole, he called it.
Man, yeah. It was a hard one to call.
but he put it out there though. He put it out there.
Calling that one is like, oh yeah, man. After I found out about what was his name from LSU, #1 overall pick. I'm trying to think how Stephen A. say his name because you know Stephen A. got that whole thing with him. You know. The Raiders, Jamarcus Russell.
Okay, Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, it's like, after the DVD story when Jamarcus came out, you're like, hey, I don't think that guy's going to be successful. Everything you need to know about why Lil Pump wasn't going to be successful was already out. He had already dropped like 4 songs at that point. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's about to happen. He's right about that one. He got on time with that. But, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they react to that and how everybody reacts to that. And, you know, I think the fan base will be won over by Milro because I think another part of the fan base is like so scared of anybody who brings in any kind of level of attention at the quarterback position right now because we just have dealt with like these high profile moves that haven't really worked out, right? The Odell trade, the Watson trade. And I think fans are just burnt out. And they kind of just want somebody who will show up and come to work.
And to his credit, Milro is that guy. He will show up, will work his ass off, and low key. I'm whatever about him as a prospect at quarterback, but to let a naysayer know, that's one of the best catchphrases you could come up with. Like that was genius, and especially with McAfee and.
Yeah.
Like I would be repping. I will rep that brand hard for sure.
That's how I knew Jalen Milroe actually go to his college classes because he got that master's in business administration. I was like, oh, he understands what he's doing. Like he has a future if he cannot play football. Like because Lank in telling us it means naysayer, he knew that was going to be like, what?
I say that every time I see Lank, I'm like, oh yeah, it's the Jalen thing. that's the Jalen thing.
I want to know what his teammates yell at him when he scored a touchdown. I'm pretty sure they're like, let them naysayers know, Jalen.
Maybe the white ones.
No, they did. No, you don't. Ass. Like you can mess up. Like you just give him the helmet tap and get on with it. You don't want to say nothing in that rhythm with the word that starts at the end. No, they know better. No. Yeah, let them know. Right?
Keep it simple. Yeah, fool. Yeah.
No, they don't even go fool. They be like, all right. Like this is yell. That's what they do. Don't even say a word, you know? Now, if Jalen Milroe does go off and he's wearing #2, but everybody on the sidelines called him Big 4.
Hey, I told you what I would do if I was the Browns.
Take the number from him.
Hey, you want 4?
Can they do that?
You want it?
They can just take the number off a player?
Well, in the NFL, I don't know I guess the politics of how that would work, but in college I saw dudes wearing a dude had #3 and he got moved on the depth chart, came next day had number 34. And I was like, oh wow, okay.
Life can let you pass.
Yeah, it does. I don't know how that works in the NFL, but in college, for sure, you show up and your locker moved. You had locker 5, now you at locker 26.
No, my homeboy Tevin, he played at YSU while I was there. And look, he was deep down the depth chart to start. He wore number 37. And then he got on a playoff run. I think he had 200 yards, 4 touchdowns against Eastern Washington when Cooper Kupp was there. It was the year YSU went to the national championship game. And after that game, I was like, oh, you about to get off that 37? You're like, no, it reminds me of where I started. I was like, oh, we got one. Hey, look, anytime somebody blow up and they keep the practice squad number, I'm like,
That's a dog.
he's serious.
That's a dog right there.
Yeah. Deshaun Gibson never moved off 39. Like,
Never.
I was like, fuck it, bring Deshaun back. Like, we need a safety.
God, we need a safety. We need a safety for like 5 years, dog.
We'll bring in Kevin Winston. Honestly, Roddy McLeod could do what Juan Thornhill wasn't. So like we'll be good.
Yeah, like, I don't know how the jersey situation works in the NFL either, but if I'm the Cleveland Browns, I'm like, if you want this number 4, you can have it.
And you think the Browns do a jersey exchange for Deshaun Watson while he's still on the team? I mean, what's the owner says we swung and missed? I feel like a jersey exchange is on the table.
If they want to garner some goodwill, they should.
You know, it'd be the nastiest thing they could do. Give Jalen Milroe for it and offer free nameplate swaps. Just have people be like, yep. Now, I don't know how many people bought a number 4 jersey in Cleveland.
Enough.
I have never endorsed such behavior. I've always saw those like, y'all wild for that. Like, that's wild. You spent $200 on a Deshaun Watson jersey. But, you know, it would send the message home. Like,
yeah, it would. It would for sure.
Oh man, that would be nasty. All right, so we're running up on 2 hours, so let's get to this. BJX, what do you think is the ideal draft scenarios for the Cleveland Browns? Like, do you think we just take Travis at 2, Travis or Abdul at 2? Or like, are you cool with either? Are you thinking about trading down at all, or are you just like, nah, let's not even play around with that? To be completely honest,
at this point in the process, don't trade down. Literally, unless it's the Giants for whatever reason. But I don't feel like they would do that at this point. So yeah, I would take Travis or Abdul at 2, whoever you feel strongly about. I would rather Travis, but not going to complain about Abdul Carter at 2. If the scenario were to happen that Shadour starts falling, I would like personally for them to use maybe 33 and trade up, get him. If not, I actually kind of have been convinced throughout this 2 hours, like if they want to take Milro at 33, if he's there, I'm kind of not opposed to it now. Just like listening through the arguments.
Welcome to the island, brother.
Yeah, but otherwise, like past that, like throw some picks at offensive line, and go from there. Like I know we need a running back, but there's so many running backs in this class that you can pick and choose where you want to take one. Like you don't need to take one early, like especially if like Genty's going to be gone. I'm sure Hampton's going to be gone. Like once you get past those 2 guys, pick and choose your preference after that.
I was just about to ask, like, what do you think is the perfect time to take the running back? Because I'm thinking probably either maybe that first 3rd round pick, but probably the 2nd, 3rd round pick they got from the Bills is probably the time where you want to take one.
Yeah, I would agree there. Like there's probably be a couple people gone, like maybe like Travion will be gone, maybe Judkins will be gone, but you still, or Caleb Johnson will probably be gone by then, but you still got Dylan Sampson, you got I wouldn't take him this high, but Scatterboo if you wanted to. Like there's all type of guys up there.
I do not know what the numbers are, but it appears that Darius Garland is cooking the Bulls right now. I just looked up and he made a 3 like 3 times.
Oh, it is 66 to 45.
Yeah, I think the ticker just showed Darius got 16 right now. Like 1 minute left before the second ends.
Ty Jerome also has 15. He has missed one shot.
Oh yeah, hey, check DeAndre Hunter. He gotta have a good amount.
DeAndre Hunter has 5.
Oh really? Only 5? I must have saw all 5 points.
I think he just scored another one, so he got 7.
He got 7. Yeah. Evan Mobley has 13. He has hit 3 threes.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Look, I was my whole thing with the Cavs. I'm like, you just gotta treat this next 4 games to clinch the 1 seed like you're in the first round of playoffs. I'm like, all right, they dropped the 1 game on some bullshit with the Sacramento Kings getting the benefit of whatever happened there. Yeah. But you know, come back out here game 5, finish business. Right. Yeah.
I just want to get one quick Cavs takeoff. I've been joking around like with my wife at the house saying Ty Jerome is our best player, like just joking. But recently, I might not be joking. Like,
the Ty Jerome thing is so interesting because he was on the team last year, got hurt, so we never really got to see him play. Mm-hmm. And when he started playing this year, I'm like, dude, who the fuck is this dude? Like, who the fuck is this dude in the Cavs, bro? Why is he hitting all these shots? Who the fuck is this? And then people were like, no, Ty Jerome been cold like that, bro. He just been hurt. He be hurt all the time, so he don't play. But he be playing, he cold. I'm like, yo, no, he's good, dog. He's good.
Ty Jerome, if like, I wish the Cavs played the Knicks this year, just so I could hear New York fans be like, what the fuck is Ty Jerome, bro? He's got fucking 30. He's not even Darius. Like, because I know they would be like just perplexed at the thought of like Ty Jerome's the one eating us up. And look, man, Ty Jerome is gonna have a couple of moments in this playoff, especially if the Cavs make a run here. Like I feel like he gonna get you a game at the very least. I was hoping we can lock him up to a contract before the end of the season. That would have been the only thing that would have made me even more happy going into the end of the season for the Cavs.
He ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. You know something I found out? Something I found out about him? He was in Kobe Altman's wedding.
Oh,
really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, right. They like that. They
tight.
Like that.
And they brought the homeboy on the team too, right? You know, from Virginia, right? We got the homie on the team. Who else was on that Virginia team that's floating around in the G League? We'll get him. Right? Like,
also, I think contract-wise,
Diabate was on that team, right?
Yeah, Diabate. Yeah, I think it's Diabate, or maybe it was Diabate. One of the two.
No, Diabate is the linebacker on the Browns. Diabate, I think, was the center.
Yeah, I think he's the center. But also, like contract-wise, I think the most he can make a year. The maximum he can make a year is like 12 million or something like that. It's like some weird contract rule where the maximum he can make, I think, is 12. And that's also, I think, like the maximum that the Cavs can pay. Okay. So if he's like if it's like a difference of like $1 million or $2 million or something like that, he not gonna leave. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like he gonna be like, yeah, I can kick it here. Everybody I'm cool with, be all right.
Because he might get that bag. Like if there's a player on every championship team, like what the Bruce Brown bag, where it's like, oh yeah, he was hooping. Somebody go inside him to start, right? And Ty Jerome fits that description, but like it's so much more than that. Right, like I want to see him and Peyton Pritchard go off on each other in the Eastern Conference Finals and just see who wins that battle for 6 man right there. You know, play for the real award, like who gets to advance.
Well, since we got BJ's here, how do you feel about the Draymond Green now being the favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year over Evan Mobley stuff?
It's nonsense. Draymond does nothing but yell and promote Draymond Green podcast episodes. Plays a little bit of basketball. Only plays basketball only when Steph is on the court. If like Steph is out, he's getting thrown out that night because he's not trying to play without Steph Curry. But like again, like one of those things, like people just aren't watching Cavalier basketball if they think Draymond is more of an impact on the defensive end than Mobley is. Like I wish Wemby didn't get hurt so we could like this was wrapped up and this was his award. Like if they're just not going to give it to Mobley, but yeah, I don't really have anything positive to say about it, so I'm not really going to say too much on it.
My whole thing is this. Do people not know that the Cavs played the Warriors twice and smoked them both games?
Oh, let's talk about that.
Hey, Curtis, how you doing?
Wait. Are we gonna ignore that Draymond? Yeah, they got smacked, but did you hear how loud Draymond was during that game, Cole? Like
the communication,
the communication going on? For all these switches that were getting busted for the Warriors was impeccable. You know, you can't blame that on Draymond. He did everything he could defensively, other than stop him.
It's stupid. It's so stupid.
My personal feeling on this is that I think this is a Dan Gilbert psyop. Don't forget, where's Draymond Green from?
From Michigan.
Detroit, Michigan. Where's Dan Gilbert from?
He's also from Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got a good relationship with Michigan State, good relationship with Draymond Green, and he's like, hey man, if Evan get that defensive player of the year or all NBA, we go hit that apron. Draymond, I need you to muddy the waters. I need you to get on that podcast and convince these folks that you the defensive player of the year so we can keep Ty Jerome. Okay, that's what I need you to do right now. This is a psyop from Dan Gilbert. That's the only reason it makes sense. Like, because there's no way somebody who actually gets paid to watch basketball looks at these two and says, man, you just got to give it to Draymond Green. And people are making a Lifetime Achievement Award for Draymond Green. Man, he's not the caliber of player that gets a goddamn Lifetime Achievement Award for anything. Like, he get the All-Star. All right, you've been an All-Star a while. Let's just keep making Draymond Green a fucking All-Star. And he's borderline with that, right? Like, it got to a point where we were like, hey, man, should Kobe really be on the All-Star team? He was Kobe. Right, like Draymond ain't Kobe. Like, is Draymond even top 75?
No,
he's Hall of Famer, but he's not top 75 for sure.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it would make more sense if fucking Anthony Davis was making this argument or something like that.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, I understand. You should have more awards. Okay, yeah, we did miss out, but like no, come on, man. Like you got the one defensive player of the year. You probably should have got more throughout your career, but that's a problem that you have with Rudy Gobert, and you seem to have settled that one out on the court. But don't bring Evan into this shit. Okay, you try to choke Evan, I'm gonna need somebody to have to muscle up to swing on Draymond. Tristan,
that's what he's here for.
Exactly what he's here for. I'm about to say Draymond ain't gonna do nothing to Evan as long as Tristan on that sideline.
I'm about to say, hey, look, man, last time somebody went crazy at the store, Tristan was there, right? Ain't had nothing to do with Tristan, but Tristan was there. The day Clutch got Tristan that big ass contract, Tristan understood what his role was. Okay, I got you, coach. Check me into the game.
Let me tell you something. Draymond know exactly what Tristan is about. Exactly what Tristan is about. That is not gonna be an issue. Let me tell you. He could do all that stomping and screaming on the court if he wants to. He know what that man Tristan about.
Yeah. that rivalry goes back.
You better keep it on the court. You better keep that shit on the court. That's all I'm saying.
Tristan be on that bitch. I know you ain't acting like that. Hey, you might got these little bumpers out here confused, but I know you. Damn, Tristan old as fuck. I just thought about that. Like, when did Draymond get into the league? Like,
a few years after Tristan got, Tristan got drafted.
Did Tristan feel that old to you?
Tristan was 20. He was 2011.
Wasn't Kyrie 1 and he was 4?
Yeah,
Thompson was the 4th pick of the draft. And you know what's crazy about the NBA? Depending on the year, not a horrific result for the number 4 pick.
Yeah, they got a ring out of it. Still getting minutes from him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's gone elsewhere and came back like that. It worked out.
Yeah, Tristan
they've
Thompson.
had worse picks. Listen, the Cavs had way worse picks than Tristan Thompson.
Yeah.
I mean, we drafted Anthony Bennett.
got off it pretty quick.
Does he even still did he hoop after the league?
He went to Europe.
He went to Europe.
He had a horrific run in Europe.
Damn.
Yeah, man. But
I think he's done. I think he might be hooping in China. Let's figure out where Anthony Bennett is. I've
literally never thought about this until just now.
Right.
Another fun fact: did you realize with Dwight Howard getting into the Hall of Fame that is the first player whose whole career happened during LeBron's peak?
Wow.
Yeah.
I never thought about it. I never thought about it like that.
Start, peak, end. LeBron whole time he was there.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. Think about how long Dwight Howard's career feels.
long playoff moments, championship.
At one point, they became very much not equals. Like the whole thing during LeBron's career. It's the first.
Man, I've literally hated that man and then been happy for that man in that entire span of time.
I forget about the fact that he played for the Hawks. Y'all remember that?
Oh yeah.
He played for the Hornets too.
Mm-hmm. Another guy whose whole career legitimately happened in the peak of LeBron's career, Blake Griffin. Whole thing. Started, ended. LeBron won an MVP already. Think about that shit.
Bro, kids will never understand how great Blake Griffin was.
Sean Kemp of our time.
Yeah, he was a problem. Started out crazy high flyer, but he really worked on his game. He was a triple-double threat.
Mm-hmm.
He was really, really, really good.
No, remember Blake on the Pistons?
Yes. Blake on the Pistons was cooking.
Cooking.
Okay, Blake. They would never understand, man. They would never understand what Blake Griffin got the first out-of-pocket quote from Skip Bayless, which is, do I get to claim that? You don't remember that?
I forgot about that.
I forgot about that too.
He's white. He's from Oklahoma. I should feel some pride about this.
Hey, that's back when First Take. That's back when First Take was fire.
Stephen A. Smith.
That's back when you was watching First Take every day. He
was like, do I get to claim this? He has red hair. I'm like, Skip, you don't even have red hair. What the fuck did that have to do with anything?
Oh man.
That's how nasty it's about to get with Cooper Flagg when he show up in the league.
Oh, there's no question about it. Babies don't have to answer no questions. But hey, look, let Ty Jerome get hot. I wonder how many people go discover it ain't what they think it is.
Yeah, I was one of them.
When they got
corrected immediately.
I think somebody told me they was trying to call him Milk, and then Ty Jerome was like, absolutely not.
He was like, hold on.
Check my resume, buddy.
You ever see a picture of me and my father?
Hey, that's how I was with Isaiah Hartenstein.
Oh yeah.
Except for when you heard Isaiah Hartenstein talk, you put 2 and 2 together. Isaiah, he sound like that. Oh, okay.
I was like, man, what does that look like? And I was like, oh, I got it.
Because he got Isaiah spelled with one eye, right? Yeah,
I think so.
We only ones doing that.
No, that podcast he did with when he was still on the Knicks was hilarious, dog. He's like, I'm black. Do people not know I'm black?
Yes, people don't know.
It's like, what you talking about? You got red hair, dog. What you mean? Like, what you mean?
Monty Jones was the first one to catch it because he was like, y'all realize what's going on there in New York? It's a dude with Isaiah with one eye and his last name Hartenstein, and I believe he might be a white dude, but I'm not sure because his name is Isaiah with one eye, right? Like, he was like, what does New York do when he scores? Like, no, he said he was at the game and then Hartenstein scored and he was like, it was getting real loud, especially for when Isaiah scored. And he was like, I wonder if they know. But
I'm sure Cleveland don't know about Ty Jerome at large. I'm sure they don't know.
No, they don't know. They don't know.
Look, we know.
Yeah.
We know, but they don't know. They don't know.
Okay.
Ty Jerome, because we found out because we was looking for the best American white basketball players, and we was like, why Max Strus on here, but not Ty?
Got corrected immediately. It was like, hey, y'all, I don't think y'all know, but you Google who his grandmother was. We were like, Google who his grandmother was. And like, she was like instrumental in the civil rights movement. I was like, oh, wow. I feel like a dickhead right now.
And I gotta give respect to Ty because he's Ty Jeremy Jerome, and he could have went by Jeremy Jerome and gotten away with it for his whole life. But he said, "No, call me Ty." Okay, like, all right. He from
Ty
New York.
Ty Jeremy Jerome is a black ass name.
Hey.
That is black on paper for sure.
Last year, I just heard people like bringing up Ty Jerome on Twitter, but I ain't never seen him. And then I saw Ty Jerome this year because he played. I was like, that's Ty Jerome. I was like, I thought he was gonna have a headband on. I was like, okay, I know who Ty Jerome is. Like, he played point guard. He probably dribble. But nah, that's not Ty. But yeah, Anthony Bennett, to answer your question, plays for the Formosa Dreamers. Guess what country?
What continent is it on?
It's in Asia.
That's not China. It's not China.
You're right. Well, there's some controversy surrounding the subject, but I would agree with you. It's not China.
Controversy. Oh, so it's why can I not?
Where's Daryl Morey when you need him?
I got nothing.
It's Taiwan.
I was gonna say Taiwan. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But apparently he's not on the team anymore. I just checked.
Damn, he got cut?
Yeah, they terminated his contract with him March 26th.
No. Did they get another American?
I have no idea. They just said on March 26, 2025, the Formosa Dreamers terminated the contract relationship with Bennett. And it just redirects me to a link in Taiwanese. I'm not proficient in that language at all, so not going to try.
Well, you know how excited they was? Hey, man, we just got the number 1 overall pick in the 2013 draft. And I know somebody over there was profoundly disappointed when he showed up.
Yeah, somebody had to get, if not fired, a stern talking to.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. He got cut. What do you do once you get cut from the Taiwanese basketball league?
Retire, brother.
Like, wait. Let me look at his career now. Dog, the Live Steelers? Where is this at? Oh, he been bouncing around in Taiwan, dog. He like a practice squad guy.
It's time to fill out that LinkedIn, buddy.
Yeah, did he win anything at UNLV that he can fall back on? He got like a college career to be proud of?
Nah, he was freshman. He was Mountain West Freshman of the Year and first team All Mountain West. That's about it.
Damn.
It's time to get into coaching.
What he about to coach?
You can start as an assistant.
I mean, he could do like a speaking tour and say, this is what you shouldn't do.
Homie got to pick up a podcast. Just bring on other draft busts to be like, hey, man, this going to be a safe place. Like,
hey, man, that can actually be a fire pod. Now that I think about it.
Look, what Jeff T is done for high-level role players, like, we want to hear them stories because they got more interesting stories. Even though I will say, did you hear Dwayne Wade's story about why Chris Paul trade didn't happen?
No.
Okay, this is what we'll edit on. So he was like, "Yeah, man, me and Chris Paul, we talking about this trade, and we start talking about how we gonna make this work on the court. Like, nah, CP, I'll play right here, and then you do this right there, and we getting it all together. I'm starting to feel really good about it." And then somebody said, "Who gonna wear number 3?" Got silent. Messed the whole trade up.
Hey, man. Hey. Ego's got in the way immediately.
Who gonna wear 3? Shout out to Kobe. He put that on the video, but I was like, oh my God. But seriously, could you imagine Dwayne Wade in his prime? Wearing like 9?
In this hypothetical trade, Chris was coming to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Chris would have to come up off 3.
Yeah,
but he's CP3.
You gonna have to be CP something else.
He can't be CP4. What is a CP4? CP6? No, that's CP3. You think Chris Paul gonna be the dude who comes off of the argument?
You gonna have to if you going to Miami. If you come into Miami, you gonna have to come up. You gonna have to wear the number.
No, Dwayne Wade could win that argument, but Chris Paul is gonna win that argument. Like, you think Chris Paul gonna let go? Chris Paul, I bet he was one of them kids that bite you and don't let go. Like, just keep biting you. Like that, he is stubborn, more stubborn than Dwayne. Dwayne be like, all right, man, I'll just wear 33. Like, I'll act so if I could wear 33 or 30, fuck it. Like, because Chris Paul every game. You want to play me for 3? Like,
yeah, it would never stop.
No, he would never let it go until you give him number 3. There's no winning that battle with Chris Paul. But yeah, number 3, that fucked the trade. Super teams that didn't happen. Chris Paul's career, it feels like it was orchestrated so he would never win a championship, because it was like you could have played with Prime D Wade, but you didn't want to give up 3. You could have played with Kobe, but the league wasn't trying to let that happen. Ended up throwing the ball to Chris Paul. And look, man, throwing the ball to Blake Griffin, and that was fun. But you had Doc Rivers coaching you. You wasn't going to go nowhere, dog. And then you go to the Rockets, you like, man, James Harden cool. But you find out the only thing he not good at is in the playoffs. And if Chris Paul stayed healthy, they would at least made one finals. But it's crazy. It's crazy how his careers went.
Yeah.
Hey, that's it for Q and Cole. Let's clap it up for Curtis, y'all. Come on, clap it up, Curtis.
Clap it up, Curtis.
Yeah. Who you cursing today? Who you cursing today, Curtis, with the hoodie? Is it the same?
I'm not cursing no one, man. Stop it.
Oh yeah, we told BJX this. Hey, so we did a pod like 3 weeks ago, like a month ago or something like that.
You don't gotta bring that up.
Curtis,
you don't gotta bring that up, man. You don't gotta bring that up.
With a Seattle Seahawks hoodie on, right? Talking about, it's gonna be good. Like, we're gonna be good. We're gonna have everything we need. Like, we're gonna be better this year.
Curtis was on this show like, I'm leaving. Come get me. I'm going to the Seahawks. The move, he was requesting the trade live on air. And then you know what happened? Wow. Hours later,
they traded everybody.
Everybody.
They let it all go to hell.
Not only did they trade everybody, Miles signed his extension to stay with the Browns immediately afterwards.
I think Miles signed his extension, and we was like, "Hey, Curtis, you all come back home?" No, y'all garbage. Y'all ain't got one quarterback. It was like, okay. And then Curtis was like, "Okay, we still got Gino." Yeah, I got Gino. I got Gino.
Big Darnold.
I'm about to say you got Darnold now. You know what
Y'all
I'm
got
saying?
the darn dude right there. Dandy Darnold. Like,
Hey, when he come
If
back to Earth this year, it's gonna be so funny.
If Seattle gets a primetime game, it's a Sunday night against either the Rams or the 49ers. I will not tune in for that. I'm not ready for that at all.
Y'all play the Cowboys this year?
No, I don't think they do.
And who could the Seahawks lose to this year? That would be hilarious.
Do the Seahawks play the Browns?
No, not this year. Hold on, let me check their schedule.
I was about to say, you better hope they don't play the Browns. You better hope if they do, they don't lose.
Well, look, the return game he needs to worry about is Pittsburgh. Like, DK getting 200 in his return to Seattle.
Oh, that probably be the only time we ever root for the Steelers.
Seattle does play the Steelers. Seattle does play the Steelers this year.
That's gonna be a rough pod for you.
Yeah. Look, he might hit you with the reverse. Oh, do y'all play the Raiders? Please tell me y'all didn't do that to yourselves.
No, they don't. They don't play the Raiders.
Oh, all right. Well, he gonna have to get it for his dog, right? He gonna have to be like, "Hey, man, they ain't right back." Yeah, you was sitting good. You had Gino Smith as your quarterback. You was like, "Oh man, the Browns thinking about bringing back Kirk Cousins," and now you looking at two teams that ain't got much going on at quarterback, and y'all traded your future.
JSN in a room by himself.
Hey, now y'all got the worst quarterback in the division. How does that feel? Worse than Kyler now, right? Like, it's definitely worse than Kyler now, right? Like,
damn, y'all do got the worst quarterback in the division.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Brock clears.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not even a question, brother.
Y'all
paying
it's all
$35
bad.
million to get worse at quarterback. That's nuts to me. Like, y'all saved $2 million downgraded. Why? Like,
I hate it here, man. I don't know. I really don't know.
y'all even got a line? Did y'all sign somebody to play guard?
No, they haven't signed anybody.
B-Jax, get ready.
Hey, bro, you can make a cool couple M's. I'm telling you.
Wait, we're gonna go up there. It's gonna be you and Kyron. You gonna think this is fucking SB Nation meeting. You're like, what is going on? Nah, we need a guard. What you mean?
Oh,
So y'all ain't got no interior offensive lineman, and then y'all signed Sam Darnold,
No,
who famously
we don't have
horrific
any
against
interior offensive lineman that's good.
Y'all gonna sign Jed Wills, ain't y'all?
God bless. God bless.
We're gonna play him at guard. Whew. All right, Curtis. Well, hey, man, what you looking forward to this season for the Seahawks? Since that is your squad now.
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Probably, I don't know, 7-10, 8-9 maybe. I'm being honest. Can't feel good. We got worse at quarterback. I'm staying 10 toes down on it.
Hey, it's gonna be okay because y'all gonna finish 8-9, get the 15th pick in next year's draft, and you're gonna take Garrett Nussmeier and light it up. I'm trying to figure out what quarterback Curtis is. It Drew Lock? Oh no. Drew Aller. You don't want Drew Aller.
Aller. I forgot Aller.
You don't want Aller. He doesn't want the Allurious one. Drew Aller falls to like 12. You like, yeah, we gotta go take that.
Just not. Yeah.
He's perfect to learn behind Sam Darnold.
Hey, Curtis, how many super chats we got?
We got 7.
Let's get him.
Yeah, all right. This first one's from Akalon. I'm excited to see how they handle the first round after not having a first round pick for years. Are they honest about who they like? Is it Kage level Genjutsu?
Whoa, what the fuck happened at the end of this question?
Oh, it's anime stuff. It's anime stuff.
I need a translation.
So basically, he's asking, like, do they genuinely are they being honest about liking Travis, or is this just like all-time smokescreen going on?
Couldn't just say that.
No.
Just gotta let everybody know you watch anime. They probably gonna pick. I think they're gonna pick it too. The thing about Andrew Berry, everybody assumes he wants to trade back, but like he hasn't really done that in his like top 50 picks that he's had, right? Like he sat there and picked. He traded up for JOK. Last year we all thought he was trading that second round pick. He stood there and took Mike Hall. You know, I don't think he's as eager to trade back as some people think with him. I think he's going to take this opportunity to get a really good player because look, you hope to not pick here again. So when you hear, you might as well get somebody you think going to be special. You look at the special players on this team, Denzel Ward, Myles Garrett, those are top 5 picks, right? But they're getting older. You need to add another guy to that rotation. Go get you a guy that could be that. And Abdul or Travis are the 2 guys in this draft that I think have true all NFL caliber potential.
So he's traded back in the second round twice.
Was it the Elijah Moore?
The Elijah Moore trade was one, and then the year that everybody thought we were going to take George Pickens in the second round, he traded back, and then that's when we took Martin Emerson and Alex.
He traded out the second that year.
He traded out the second year.
To Elijah Moore?
No.
What year was Elijah Moore? Was that the same year we got Cedric Tillman?
That's the year after. Yeah, that's the same year we got Cedric Tillman, so that was the year after.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think he's more likely to trade down from 33 than he is from 2, to be completely honest.
Yeah, well, I think if you like Milro, you might as well just take him at 33. Like if you like a quarterback at 33, ain't no point in playing around with it, right? Because now you're gonna be pissed if you trade back to 40 and he's fucking gone. You know, look like an idiot. So if you think a quarterback that you think is worthwhile is there, Shadour, Jalen Milroe, I'd advise trading up to 32, taking them, get that first year option, the 5th year option. Don't play with it. But yeah,
we're gonna see. We'll see what they do.
All right, the next one is from Akalon. Hold on, let me see. If they don't draft anyone for O-line, how would you feel going to the year? Also, Colb, Dennis, Rel, and Domo are the only reason I have a Twitter.
Hey, real quick, Domo, he been in the chat. He been in the chat since we've been live. Domo got to understand that if they take Travis and they don't take Abdul Carter, it's not the worst thing in the world, bro. Like Travis Hunter is very good. He's probably the best. He probably is the best player in the draft. If I'm being completely honest, like I'd love to have Abdul, but if I'm being like objective about it, Travis Hunter's probably the best.
I feel like y'all underestimate my guy there, right? Like, look, he understands all of this, but he also understands he got to stand on business. He been on Abdul Carter since day one. He gonna end on Abdul Carter. Now, if the season started, Travis Cole, he gonna be with Travis.
Oh yeah, he is.
He is. But for now. He don't switch. He just gonna fight the war he started fighting unconditionally. And sometimes you on the same side as him and it's cool. Sometimes you not. And you just gotta wait it out. Like, I think this is just one of the things. He started fighting for Abdul. He gonna keep fighting for him. And like part of me respects it. That's why I wanted to draft Abdul, because I saw him arguing in the comment section about fucking Jalen Hurts. I'm like, I appreciate a crash out guy.
That's dope, man. But like, as far as the O-line stuff, listen, they need a tackle. Like, they need a left tackle real bad. If they don't take it at 30, if they don't take a tackle at 33, I don't know how they go get one. Maybe they take
Kevin at left.
Maybe like Ozzie Trapillo, I guess. They could draft later, but I don't know.
They not about to draft 23-year-old an offensive tackle when they got to wait a year to play him.
I don't know. I don't even know who else is young. Like Ursery, maybe. Like I don't know. I really don't.
Yeah, it's Josh Connolly. I don't think Donovan's super young, but he's not old. But maybe Donovan Jackson. I think it's gonna be a tackle to guard guy. I think they're really holding out a lot of hope on Dewan being able to play left tackle, and they're just trying to buy their time.
Oof. Good luck.
Hey, he might come down. What did he come down there? Slim down. in his hooping weight.
That's a lot of slimming.
Hey.
It's a lot of slimming.
Hey.
What was that man? What was that man this past season?
That's why I think they're gonna have Tevin play left tackle, give him a year to just be like, all right, man, just get to 325. Right? Like,
hey, I'm gonna tell you right
now. Not getting
325,
350.
He ain't getting 325. He get to 350, you call it a win.
What was he at Ohio State? 360?
I think like 370, 365, something like that.
He definitely would benefit from like just being about 350 pounds. Like, I don't know how he hasn't like found it to be like more beneficial for him, but yeah, it would definitely benefit him. Because like so much of his problems when he pulls out and he tries to do like run blocking is because he can't like control where he's hitting because his body is just like so heavy, it's just carrying him the opposite direction. I'm like, if he could just control his body weight a little bit more, he'd be pretty good, but he's got to learn that lesson himself. That next super chat.
Yeah, next one is from Small Useless Bread. He says this: You schedule your show to right as my astronomy class starts. So unfortunately, I can't join live today, but I enjoyed the cute and cold light yesterday, and I'm looking forward to the real thing tonight.
I appreciate that, man. We appreciate that.
Big dog. Appreciate you, man. By the way, stay in school, you know?
All right, the next one is from Adam. He says, how do you think this draft will impact the NFL landscape in the coming years? Do you guys feel anything will change?
I mean, I don't think this is going to be like a league-changing draft at all. Maybe Travis. Listen, if there's a guy who could potentially change anything in the league, it's going to be Travis, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we'll get like 8 years of people trying to be like, well, maybe Travis, he could do what Travis Hunter did, right? Like poor, just like some two-way guys who did not play two-way the way that Travis did, try to make it happen. So maybe Travis like changes some trends here. I do think like if you get a late quarterback hit, maybe like Shador's going to be, regardless of, well, if Shadour is any level of starting caliber quarterback, he's going to have a pretty significantly high profile. So maybe that has some effect there. And if like somebody like Jalen Milroe hits at the late of the first round, that might be the nail that breaks the waterfall on just the complete change of quarterback evaluation from here on out, where people are just going to look at the fundamentals of like what makes somebody a more guaranteed hit way differently than they do now. And it's already trending that way.
Something that just became public. Jalen Milroe and Jackson Dart both had top 30 visits with the Browns today.
Well, you know, they had to get their quota for Jackson Dart. like Jackson Dart. I mean, they got to do their due diligence, though. I think they should bring in every quarterback that they're considering taking with a draft pick at some point.
That's fair.
If you're going to not take a quarterback at 2, you got to be 100% sure that there's not one there worth taking it to. And, you know, you got to be pretty sure about 33 too, right? So if you want to go Jalen Milroe, you got to be really sure about that you don't want Jackson Dart too. So they're going to do their due diligence at quarterback. And they got to. Right, because they ain't got one.
Real quick, back to the super chat. I think this running back class, I don't think it's going to change anything like about how the league operates, but I think a lot of these running backs coming in this class might push out a lot of like hangers on that are around the league right now. Mm-hmm. So like somebody like your Raheem Mostert just signed in Vegas. Like if they get another one, he'll be pushed down the depth chart, something like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of 30-year-old running backs looking real nervous right now.
Yeah.
You know, like Najee's probably too. He's like one average season and then getting like a backup blow up behind him again from being like, oh yeah, well we're just gonna go with younger guys here from now on.
Yeah.
I do wonder how much the needle's going to move towards running the football, because I think it's already been trending that way. And with the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, if somebody else is able to develop another winning strategy that is based behind running the football, or let's say the 49ers get Genty, right? And they all of a sudden pop back up and win the Super Bowl this year. Is that going to change the value that we hold for running backs? Because that'll be 2 years of the best player on the Super Bowl team, on offense at least, potentially being the running back.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. Next super chat is from Iceman. Y'all think Sark was scared of playing Arch?
I don't think it's about being scared. I just think it's like, I think everybody kind of knew if you go to Arch, like if you just go to Arch and like Quinn's not hurt, you can't go back.
I wonder if it was a Jim Tressel, Todd Beckman situation where it's like, I just owe it to my seniors. But then Quinn didn't want to fucking go. So you kind of just had to be like, all right, man, we'll hold your spot. Because like if you're trying to sell your, like, because a lot of guys are trying to sell their program on like, hey, we'll take care of you, right? In the era of NIL. And you want to sell that as a brand. You absolutely cannot be like, hey, dog, the Manning kid's here. You got to get the fuck out of here, right? Like that's going to undermine any message that you're trying to sell with that brand. So I do think that maybe that played a factor where he kind of felt like his hands were tied. Maybe Sark might just be like a big Quinn Ewers guy. It's possible. Sark has had weirder infatuations at the quarterback position. So, a lot of coaches do like that mid, right? Like that guy who's not going to do too much, not going to get too risky because there's less anxiety for him. Might just be the case here, right? Where he just prefers that. I don't know. Is Sark an offensive guy or is he a defensive guy?
Yeah. He's play caller.
I don't know. Sark's pretty weird. Like, we need a guy to talk to the fucking kicker, right? Like right before the kicker missed the kick.
He did do that.
Yeah. So I just don't know. Sark's just such a strange character that I can't really put my finger on what he's really thinking there. I know what Nick Saban would have done.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, he'd have benched the shit out of Quinn. He could have benched the shit out of Quinn. You hear me?
Yeah, he ain't even gonna do him the favor of gaslighting him for a year like he might play. He go like, nah, son, you can transfer. like when it was Jalen Hurts and Tua, he was like, y'all want me to pick, but I'm not picking. Nah, well, if it was him, Arch Manning and Quinn Ewers, he's like, nah, I picked Arch.
Nick would have told him, you are not welcome here.
He's like, come on, anybody want to keep him? We gotta go.
Yeah, it's like I can get you to wherever you want to go, but it will not be here.
Son, have you ever thought about playing for the Naval Academy? I used to play at Michigan State. Ain't nothing wrong with Michigan State. You seem perfect for Michigan State. Tell me Quinn Ewers ain't the quintessential Michigan State quarterback. Like, yeah, he played.
Oof.
Yeah, any more super chats?
Yeah, next one. We got two more. This one is from Michael. Just wanted to show y'all some love. Also, if Jackson Dart is within 100 feet of our stadium, I'm gonna crash the F out.
Thank God they ain't built that stadium in Brook Park, damn, bro. You be crashing out today.
Oh man, Jackson Dart shit. I just can't. I can't do it.
Look, I don't know why you act like you wasn't part of the reason it started.
No, don't do that. I was taking that man in like the 4th round where he needs to be drafted.
You introduced look, don't tell me, oh man, it ain't my fault that crack epidemic started. I was selling cocaine. Like, no, here.
Hey, I tell people to start taking him in the first round.
Lock it up, but you brought the cocaine here so people can figure it out. Nah, you had the raw materials down here to build the Jackson Dart crack epidemic in Cleveland. Okay.
Listen, taking that man, I was taking that man at pick 104, and now people want to take him in the first round. Absolutely
You
not.
flew that raw material from Mississippi to goddamn Cleveland, and then you wonder like, man, I didn't know y'all was gonna make crack with it. Like, nah, you know what this fan base like? They can't handle nothing. Like, that's why I don't even tweet highlights anymore of players. Because if I tweet a highlight about Jalen Milroe, oh man, I'd be the villain if Jalen Milroe gets drafted and ends up not being good. Y'all not about to do this shit to me. It was more points that I was bringing than what y'all say on the internet. Nah, you rock that shit up, Cole. That's on you, bro. Like,
it is what it is.
Y'all remember when you retweeted that Jackson Dart propaganda? I was like, oh Lord.
Man, Corey told me he was gonna beat me with hammers.
Because he knew what you did to the community. He saw the damage that you did to the community. Okay,
Oh, man.
we were already on the break. He brought some cocaine in.
All right, we got two more. Okay, this one is from Feeling Dangerous 113. As a fellow member of Milro Island, Q, I'm nervous what he will look like if he plays his first year. How do you think he will look if put out there?
What's that, Dave Chappelle? We need to get Dave Chappelle. Run! Like, just run! You know what I mean? Just be like, all right, Jalen, first read there. If it's not, all right, just put your head down, go ahead. Like, we'll figure out the rest, right? Let's run that ball. Run the ball, you know? That's the floor that he has, right? You can always run the ball with him. And he can stay ahead of the sticks. You good.
All right, next one is the last one from Soul Train. Is it true Eamon Ward is going to slide in the draft?
He shouldn't. I mean, I guess what's considered a slide for him?
I guess, I don't know, maybe late first. I don't know. He might.
I mean, he should go in the first round.
Not if there will be no Nick Emery slide as long as the ghost of Al Davis has a say in the first round of the draft. The man gonna get drafted like early.
I guess this leads me to a question.
I don't see him getting past the Ravens, though, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they would definitely do that 100% because it's the Ravens and that's just what they do. But is there any player where if they non-quarterback where if they fell to like the late 20s where you would be like, yeah, the Browns need to do that?
Late 20s, non-quarterback. Trying to go through positions. Nobody at tight end. Nobody at running back. I mean, like, if Genty fell to like,
yeah, like
if all right, bro, I'll do it.
Yeah, like I don't think it would happen, but I'm like, if Genty just happened to be just sitting out there, for sure, go ahead and do that.
I would do it just so the Ravens couldn't. Like, I'm not doing
Jesus Christ.
JT Lamar? Oh my God.
I'd be so mad at Buffalo for letting that bullshit happen. Like, it's always Buffalo. It's always you. Every time we're like, hey, bro, who let this bullshit happen? It's Buffalo. How did Pat get to the Chiefs? Buffalo. How did they get Xavier Worthy? Buffalo. It's always goddamn Buffalo doing something. Like, nah. I'm going to blame Buffalo if that happens.
Hey, Mike said Mike Green for me. Do your Googles, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Do your Googles. Do your Googles.
Ooh, could you imagine if like the Eagles got JT? That'd be the most bullshit Howie Roseman.
I can't imagine that actually. No,
it's like, yo, we got him. It happened again. We got a top 5 player to draft in the 20s for the 4th year in a row.
Coming up for pick 32.
No, and the thing that be killing me with how he does this, it doesn't even take like being like a super draft nerd to figure out to to get the players or know the players that he gets dudes that everybody thought would go in the top 10, and they just inexplicably fall to Howie at fucking 27. I'm still mad about Nolan Smith. Like,
Man.
yeah. Cooper DeJean, I was like, that's the second best corner in this class. Everybody was like, no, he's a safety. We told you on this show that was that racism getting the better of them. Right? Like, it wasn't us that didn't think he could play corner. Right? Like,
Yeah.
we saw Coop dunk on homeboy from South Dakota. We was like, nah, he's cold. Let that man play on the outside. Everybody else wanted to play that man at safety. Like,
But we good on the super chats?
Yep, we good.
There it is. There it is.
Right. Well, that was Q and Cole. Appreciate you for coming on, Brandon, man. Let them know where to find you.
Yeah, so Twitter /X, whatever. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It's all at BJax70. So
Follow my boy, man. Follow my boy.
appreciate y'all having me on, man. It's been a long time coming. Shout out St. Edward High School, man. St.
There
Edward
it
High
is.
School.
There it is. There it is.
Did St. Ed's win a state while y'all was there?
Yes.
Tell
First
them,
state,
Cole.
first state championship team. Very first state championship team.
Wow.
We both got the ring. Just let you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You know what I mean? Cool. Y'all beat the
Yeah, we started the dynasty. Like all the rings that you see, they came after us. We was the blueprint.
I just want to know how St. Ed's and Ignatius be cheating, but like somehow the Kelsey brothers didn't end up there.
Sometimes they fall through the cracks. It happens.
Yeah.
Y'all was tripping in that whole era. Y'all let the Kelsey brothers play at Cleveland Heights and then Shelton Gibson was there. What was going on? What's up with y'all recruiting? Like,
What recruiting?
what Mitchell?
What recruiting?
Mentor?
What recruiting? What
You know,
recruiting?
all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, I let Glenville come up. Why y'all let Glenville go to D2? Why that happened?
They D4 now. Like what? Like
crazy.
what?
Right?
I have no idea how they're D4.
Like you want to talk about cheating? That's cheating.
That's cheating. 100%. Hey, no, real quick. Hey, B-Jax, state championship game against Braxton Miller.
Oh, that was y'all that year?
Look.
Was that
look
win?
at me. Look at me, bro.
Cooper Heights, right?
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
If he wanted to, if he would have just kept running, we lose that game by 3 scores.
100%.
We lose that game by 3 scores, but something told him to try to be a pocket passer, and it fell apart. We took advantage. But brother.
Hey, when I tell you that man is the best high school football player I have ever seen to this day.
It was nasty.
No, you don't understand, bro, because I'm on the sideline, right? I watched this man juke the entire fucking defense and score. And I'm so like he started from the D line, got up to the linebackers, and then everybody in the secondary and was gone. I was like, oh shit.
But it's multiple college football players on that defense too. Like the whole D line went D1.
D1.
And some of the secondary went Ivy League. People that played football in college, and he was just running through it. Like he was looking like Jalen Milroe against LSU.
No, I remember because I think around the same time, Maple had Shaq Washington. And Shaq was cold. And my dad was like, if it weren't for Braxton Miller, he would have been at Ohio State. No doubt. When Braxton was there, I think Cardell won it in 09 he got to the state championship in 09 with Glenville. Because I remember he was skinny as hell.
Oh yeah.
That was when they were Division I still.
Oh yeah.
Hillary used to have the Division I championship at Ohio Stadium, and then the Division II one in Massillon. But it is It is insane when you get those NFL guys against high school teams, especially a dude like Braxton, who like freaky athletic, like crazy athletic. You know, doesn't get talked about enough. But yeah, tough assignment. Did y'all win that game? Y'all won that game?
Yeah, we won that game. State championship.
How much y'all pay Braxton to stay in the pocket?
Hey, if that's what happened, I don't know anything about it. But if they did, I'm glad they did.
What was your NIL deal for St. Edwards?
Thank you guys for having me on. It was a great show.
Oh, shit.
You just went out there for the better education, huh? You know,
Absolutely.
Had a great education, college prep school. You know, got good grades. It was all on the up and up.
It was the computer labs that got you to say that. It's okay. Yeah, I believe that. But yeah, there was a lot of dudes coming out of Cleveland at that time, right? Because Tybus was in Bedford at that time too, right? I think Tybus the same age as me. So
yeah. That era of Northeast Ohio was crazy. You had Devin Smith going to Ohio State.
No, that was the last true like time that Ohio State felt like Ohio State, right? Like that was like everybody who was balling except for like Von Bell on that team and Zeke was like from Ohio. It was like, oh yeah, that's Ohio State right there. That was one hell of a time for Ohio football. But I want to thank you guys for watching. We clapped it up for Curtis. Shout out to Cole for showing up today. I don't know why I did that. It sounded shady as fuck. My bad, bro.
I'm here every week. What you talking about?
Shout out to Blake. Shout out to St. Edwards, I guess. But everybody have a great day. Have you better night. Peace.